Hello, welcome to the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. I am Jay, joined by Ollie and Big Tasty, and we've probably used most of our good material for the intro, like just chatting about plans we had for this podcast. How are we, fellas?
Yeah, good. It's officially the running into spooky season. If you're watching the video, you can see I've got the Halloween pajamas on.
Yeah,
I'm getting pumpkin spiced up the ass. Because that's the only way I can consume sugar nowadays. So
the only legal way.
yeah.
How many
Thanks,
costs?
thanks,
I didn't
Keir
notice this for
Starmer.
the first time. It costs to do their knockoff version of pumpkin spice.
So does Starbucks have it like trademarked?
I don't know, but like I went into Costa and they had like a walnut hazel as like their version of like
I mean, that sounds
pumpkin
really nice to be
spice.
fair.
I mean, in form of a cookie sandwich, it was a bit much. That was a sugar overload.
Combining it with a double cake.
I'm sure Nero's is pecan spice as well, so you might be onto something with that
that
pumpkin spice
sounds
thing.
lit, to be fair.
I'll have one tomorrow
See, that
instead
Nero's
of
clever because you can still say PSL, but it's not like breaking
yeah,
copyright.
yeah. That's a smart thing. I'll ask my insider there, find out what's going on. But yeah, we're talking about All Out. I thought it was a pretty good show. Didn't think it was the best show they've done all year, but it was very, very solid.
All Out,
I-
we said this, All Out really falls in a weird position, doesn't it? Because it's always like quite close after whatever they do in the UK. I know they sort of made it a bit further away this time, but it's sort of like not like a hangover show, but it's always like got to like sort of bear the brunt of like the madness of All In / Forbidden Door this year.
Yeah,
I think like with I honestly think the last like 3-4 matches you could put up there with any other last 4 matches in any of the other AEW pay-per-views of this year. Like they were just bang hit after hit after hit, like 4.5 5-star matches one after the other. I just think the first half of it let it down a little bit. I felt a little bit clunkier. So I think
yeah.
but like those last 4 matches, you can compare them against any other AEW back half of a pay per view, and it will stand up. I just think they got a little bit let down.
I'd go as far as to say and we'll get into this when we talk about it. From when the coin dropped, it was big boy time. Then it was like okay.
I'd say hang on. Am I getting confused? No, I'm getting confused. Sorry, just the layout on my list compared. No, you're right. From when the coin dropped, for some reason I thought that tables and tax was like just before that match, but it wasn't.
No.
But that was good. I think it was something we were kind of talking about with Forbidden Door as well, to a degree where like the placement of matches is the one thing that kind of like lets them down on pay-per-view sometimes.
Which I found really bizarre because I think they nailed it for a while. Like it really felt like they had their pay per views like tacked on. But
I don't think this was bad in terms of match. The only thing that we've seen now 2 pay per views in a row that doesn't really do it for me is the Cope and Cage opening the show. It just doesn't have. I mean, I know why they do it because they want the big crowd pop for the music and it's like the big sort of feel good moment. But in ring, it just doesn't have the zip to sort of energize the crowd.
Yeah.
yeah, it did feel like a match that maybe could have gone a little bit later and maybe got would have been more better placed. But like again, this is nitpicking when you AEW give us on the regular. Like I don't think AEW's done a pay per view which has been lower than like an 8 out of fucking 10. Like
just as a spoiler, this show ain't no C.
No, it sure isn't. It's at very, very least an 8.5.
If I was, for example, AEW's broadcast partner, I wouldn't rate this a C.
I don't think Warner Brothers Discovery are going to be dropping any C's on this.
Yeah. When we're quibbling over what is an 8 out of 10 show, it's like Jesus Christ, we are being fed well.
Yeah.
Like, damn, they didn't put on the perfect pay per view. They just gave us an excellent one.
When we have to like sort of temper expectations and be a little underwhelmed about an 8 out of 10. It's like, all right, like this is like Liverpool fans this season complaining that we're only winning by 1 goal and we've won like 6 matches in a row. And it's like, lads, I grew up in the Roy Hodgson era. I would kill for this.
That's like a TMF for you, isn't it?
Yeah,
thinking about that.
I think about it too much. I see Joe Cole in my nightmares.
Every now and again, you see someone who looks a bit like Paul Kaczynski just start crying, and you don't know why.
That's normally me in the mirror, to be fair. So,
yeah, let's get into this because there's quite a lot. So we had the tailgate first. I don't have the matches up here, so can someone?
Four matches. Yeah, 4 matches on the card. Only one really went long. which is probably the one that should have gone long. So Ops, Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs versus the Workhorsemen. Fine.
That was fun.
I really like Anthony Henry and JD Drake.
Yeah,
I think the two of them.
Yeah.
I like that they're getting on TV a lot now. Again, I think Anthony Henry, they had like conflicting injuries, didn't they? Like overlapping injuries that like meant they've been
Such bad injuries as well.
for like 18 months of like sustained one of them being hurt all the time.
They're a really good team that they can go in and be like an enhancement team, or they can go in and have like an absolute banger with people.
Yeah,
They're like really good, like kind of like a utility team, I guess. Like doesn't matter where you put them on the card, they're gonna have a good match. And
my favorite moment of this match was when Hobbs gave JD Drake a spine buster, and I thought the world was going to end.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Pretty sure that's what killed the dinosaurs.
It feels like they're kind of building like Hobbs. Well, they're building up to something Hossy, aren't they? Because they've just
Give us
trademarked.
Meat Madness. Give us fucking Meat Madness
Well,
at long last.
they've trademarked Bacon Brawl today. So
Yes,
I
doing
think
it.
something's coming, and then you just drop their Claudio and Hobbs on fucking Dynamite with no explanation. It's just like, yeah, here's some big lads just fighting.
Give
I've
us
had
a
it.
gauntlet that's just full of massive dudes.
I just that would be nice for like Wrestle Dream, just all the hosses. Because I mean,
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley's not doing anything at the moment. He's just been like,
And in a multi-match, he doesn't have to take a pin, so it's fine.
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Yeah,
if they were to do the proper Hoss, like proper full-on Meat Madness, you got what? Lashley, Benjamin, Brody King, Samoa Joe, Hobbs. We've got
Toleona,
Toleone,
Big Bill.
Bishop Khan, Lance Archer,
Sad Wardlow noises.
Brian Cage, half the Don Callis family.
Most of the Don Callis family. Yeah,
Is Nick Comoroto still there? Is he still a thing?
Yeah.
yeah.
Shane
Mortas,
Taylor.
Shane Taylor, yeah.
Yeah, Frank Mortas, Roosh. Roosh should probably fall into a Hoss category. He's like a Takeshita Hoss, where he's like a big guy, but he's underwhelmingly big. Whereas in like you don't realize he's big.
He's weirdly big, but lies
He's
at the same time.
deceptively.
Yeah.
You don't realize how big he is until like he's next to like Sammy Guevara, and it's like, oh yeah, he's a fucking giant.
He's like the Slenderman.
I mean, this is how they got Keith Lee back into it. Just saying, would be astounding. But yeah, give us Meat Madness. They've got so many people. I want it.
Just do a C2 of meat.
That's just one entire bracket is just big hosses.
Again, this is literally the fantasy wrestling promotion that I booked.
It genuinely is, yeah. When we first started.
Tony gets a bell. We'll sort that out. What's Dave Mastiff up to? Get him on the blower. He's not watching Man United. This shite. Right, next up we had the match that was the longest on the pre-show. Deservedly, it was Daniel Garcia versus Kazuyo Shibata. This was probably the match that had the most sort of story behind it, most sort of build.
Yeah.
Obviously, and the match did tell a really good story. Like Daniel Garcia went full bastard against Shibata, which was kind of nice. This was full like Anakin turning on Obi-Wan, sort of, to become except he didn't like get cut in half and land in lava and then scream because his wife died. Spoilers for a 25-year-old film.
Yeah. Shibata as well, just when he's against like guys like this who you can see they want to kind of like test themselves against them, he's just like, all right, I'm going to kick the living shit out of you and you're going to fucking enjoy it. And yeah, also he took that really nasty spot with the steel steps and I was like, Shibata, what the fuck are you doing?
Remember when they had to take his brain out and put it back into his body?
Yeah.
He got banned from New Japan.
And now he's doing this in AEW because he's a fucking lunatic. It's great. I love him. I love him to pieces. We got to see him live at Forbidden Door weekend in the Red Pro show, and he just hits people really hard, and he does it for real because you can tell by the noise it makes.
I mean, he high-fived me at a Rev Pro show and nearly broke my fucking hand. Like that shows how like hard this man hits. Yeah, he's awesome.
He's not allowed to go shopping for fruit because he just like bruises it when he picks it up.
He just crushes it in his hand. It's like Bob Mortimer with apples. I can't remember. Garcia won this, right?
Yeah.
Shafir
did the distraction and Garcia won.
That's right.
Then next up we had Hologram and Paragon versus the Frat House. Very short match. The big plus here was we got to hear End of Heartache on pay-per-view, which was absolutely lovely. And also, we got to see Kyle just Kyle's failure to grasp the concept of hologram as a person is utterly hilarious.
I love that promo Kyle did with the conglomeration when they asked hologram about the clone. And Kyle was like, "We're cloning luchadors now. Technology's gone too far." It's just like, what the fuck?
I'm so looking forward to...
Kyle's only just understood Jurassic Park.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really looking forward to hologram versus evil hologram. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm also very much looking forward to hologram versus fucking Fletcher that's happening next week. Like,
yes,
Jesus Christ, title versus streak is going to be a banger.
So just to drop some names, me and Jay actually met Perez at a GCW show in Liverpool a few years ago, and he's a fucking madman.
One of the most insane wrestlers I've seen live with my own two eyes, because some of the shit he can do is just like you're just looking at like, how?
Yeah,
and then he takes all his face.
Feed families.
Then he takes all his face paint off and he looks like a little fucking, like he works in a bank or something.
I'm really hoping the reason they're doing like the evil hologram L clone, I think that's what this kind of, it's like L clone, yeah. Isn't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that all I'm hoping is they end up, basically the feud's going to lead into like a mask versus mask match, which L clone loses, and then when he picks the mask off, he's got the fucking faceplate on underneath, like fucking Liger and Takeshian Liger, and
that
just
would be very
batters
cool.
The fuck out of him.
That would be very, very cool. Because Edessa's got such a cool look anyway.
Mm-hmm. But that would be such a fun way, and you just got like this, Arez full on painted up battering hologram.
Yeah, I like that.
We also got to see the Frathos, so it was nice to see Griff Garrison. Who the fuck is Griff Garrison, etc.
I do enjoy how like Roddy's like just fucking hates the conglomeration, but he can't explain why he hates them. He's just like so angry about the whole like arrangement. It's like he's just there to support his friend. He's like, Kyle, for fuck's sake.
The only thing I don't understand, Jay, why did they spoil the Jack Perry return on the pre-show?
I mean, I don't know.
There's a deep BT cut for you there.
I don't know, but I enjoyed that deep cut.
Because we're doing them now. AEW is doing them now. Because people got angry that things were on BTE and they didn't understand them. So watch BTE. It's bad.
I keep forgetting BTE is a fucking thing that's back. I keep forgetting it's back. It's only when like I get like a fucking message off Faye or Sarah brings it up in our group chat, and it's like, oh, something happened on BTE that I just didn't know about. Okay, cool.
So last week was like those Nick, it was like the pre, like the day before the pay per view, and like it was Nick like trying to make Matt feel better, and he took him out for like loads of like cool, nice things. The thing was like, yeah, today cost us like $35,000, and Matt was like horrified.
I remember like religiously watching those when they came out, or like I'd be on my way back from work, they'd always upload it when I was on my way back from work, and like I just instantly watch it. That was such a wild time, like as an AEW and wrestling fan.
It makes me laugh that people get annoyed about that when like using that as a sort of way to kind of progress storylines, or like even just like drop hints on the way a storyline's going. And then the whole WWE TNA thing that they've started doing started off by all the TNA wrestlers tweeting about how sad they were about it.
Like social media,
and now you have to legit watch another promotion. Like just do it to a fucking YouTube channel, just watch it. It's free.
Yeah.
Like social media is such a massive part of like today's landscape that it may like honestly I don't mind when I hear like about stuff like that. Like fucking I really like.
I like it. I
like it a lot. Like
the bad faith of it.
I know. Like I was going to bring up, like when WWE did it with the Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. Like they did the backstage fight, which you obviously had
like the CCTV
footage and like the people videoing, like people like fans videoing it. Like I love shit like that. Like absolutely fucking do it.
Yeah.
It makes like, storylines so different. It's a
AEW did it when Darby and Brody was announced for Wrestle Dream. And there wasn't any build on TV, so they just had Brody show up to a fucking signing and kill Darby in front of fans. Oh, there's crying children watching Brody King throw Darby through a fucking table.
Like it's a really fun way to do it, and like for the people who are dedicated, they can go watch that shit. And the people that just want to watch the TV show, it still makes sense in the TV show.
Yeah.
Fucking John Cena and AJ Styles got announced over fucking Twitter.
Yeah.
That's all you're getting of that one.
that retirement tour, guys, really petering out in it.
Right, and then the final match, was the Tornado Tailgate Brawl. 8 women: Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, Queen Aminata, and Willow Nightingale versus Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford, and Triangle of Madness, being Julie Hart and Sky Blue. Little bit clunky, this one. Didn't quite.
Yeah.
It wasn't the smoothest match. I mean, it was fine. It was fun.
I was going to say, I think
spots.
matches like this kind of get a bit of a pass for me because it's like it's meant to be a brawl. Like I don't want to see perfectly executed spots. If
Yeah,
there's...
but there was a lot of people just standing around waiting for things to happen to them. Which was a bit like.
There was that bit when people were like put on the chair, and they just kept adding people to the chair, and then they were just sat like there waiting, and then nothing happened. It was like, oh.
But again, as we've said many times, this is professional wrestling. If you can believe an Irish whip, you could probably suspend your belief for anything.
Yeah,
it was a fun plunder match on the pre-show to get people hyped for the main show. And they all wore fucking street clothes. I appreciate a pair of jeans in a street fight. Not gonna lie, they hit the brief.
Yeah.
And Willow won, and we're all happy about that.
Yeah,
exactly,
which was fine. So then we moved into, and can we just say again, AEW, this. So in the UK, the main show started at 8 p.m.
So good.
Which is, oh my word! I was in bed. I was in bed by like 1:30 on a pay-per-view night, which was ridiculous.
When Tony Khan announced on the media scrum that they were thinking of like just making the early start times their usual go-to for shows, I was like, "Fuck yes, please
do it! Become that company."
Because he said himself, like they noticed so many more pay-per-view buys from the European market. It's like, well, no shit. It's at a time.
But it also didn't hurt their American buys either, because people just wanted to watch it on like a Saturday afternoon. You get the barbecue going, you get your mate try and get the beers on, and have some burgers, hot dogs and burgers, smoke some briskets, whatever you crazy Americans do.
Like, just because combat sports has been so religiously done on a night time on a Saturday or fucking Sunday at 7 p.m. in the fucking US doesn't mean that has to be the case. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do it to cater for the most benefit of the audiences. Like,
so they started at like, was it like 3 p.m. US time, like Eastern time?
Oh yeah, 3 Eastern.
So if you're on the East Coast, like it finishes at 8 because it's like a 5-hour show. And so it's like you can go out drinking if you want. You can go around to your friends and play some board games. You can get the boys together, play some COD. It doesn't dominate your Saturday night.
Did you deliberately say Saturday night there?
Spoiler for later.
Oh, is that a Freudian slip?
But you know what I mean? It's like, I think it benefits everybody. So like, Europeans can like, because I was in work at like 8:30 on a Saturday morning, so I wasn't making it till 4.
No, and also we got Mystery Wrestling on the following day, like because that was on a midday in Canada, so we got that at like 5 p.m, which was nice.
Like just for comparison's sake, which like so the UFC, I watch a fair chunk of MMA and stuff like that, and less so the UFC these days because Jesus Christ, fucking horrendous company. But UFC 304 in England, the start time for that show, the prelims started at like 10 p.m. with the main card starting at 3 in the morning due to the American audience. That's how fucking dedicated.
Wasn't that like Manchester or something as well?
It was,
yeah. It was fucking insane. The one that fucking Tom Aspinall headlined.
Because an arena can't shows that late.
Like literally, the main card didn't start till 3 a.m.
It's TKO money, mate. They can just pay the fines.
Like, it is wild that there is this such stringent wanting to stick to that times. Do it when everyone's best for everybody. You know what I mean?
My favorite part of that show as well was that Dana White complained that all the fights went the distance and they were boring because all the fighters were tired because it was the middle of the fucking night.
Well, is it because like presumably the American like MMA's like sort of target audience is like pissed up dude bros?
Yeah.
And so
unfortunately these days they've like the main TKO or AUFC audience is very much the audience you fucking expect these days, which is so sad.
And so they're all they've got to have time to finish their white collar job and then get on the Saws and the Charlie and be like ready to go by the time the first fight starts. But if that's happening at midday, they can't be doing that.
It's true.
They're still trying to sell subprime loans like it's the Big Shot.
Or Power Slap.
So I can just a little segue. I can no longer watch The Big Short, which is one of my favorite films of all time, because one of the main characters in it is in Gen V, and this week I saw his balls.
Oh wow!
No spoilers.
Spoilers for Gen V. You see his ball. I mean, if it's
I
spoiler for a
haven't
boy
seen.
show is you see someone's balls, then you're not paying attention.
I mean, I was gonna say like that's like the least spoilery thing you could have give me about a show that's set in the boys' universe that there's a pair of testicles on the screen.
Oh,
It's most episodes.
Yeah. Right, speaking of a pair of balls, should we get into the opening match?
I mean, we
Yeah.
did see the green bastard from Trailer Park Boys. So.
Oh, I popped so fucking. So first of all, there was a hockey player who cares. But then we had. Well, first of all, we just had Bubbles as Bubbles.
I love the fact that Cope was like so excited about everything, and Christian didn't break character at all. He just looked so fucking done with all his shit.
Yeah, so first of all, we had Bubbles as Bubbles, and then he walked down the corridor, and there he was, like, again, has his wrestling persona, the Green Bastard, which, oh my god. Sarah was like, I have no idea what's going on, and I'm literally on the floor crying with laughter at this point.
So I'm not super familiar with Trailer Park Boys. I've watched a few episodes, but I am aware of the Green Bastard. I was like, Canada are going to be fucking up in arms about this. They're going to be fucking losing their minds.
Yeah, I was saying to Sarah, that's like if they did a show in Liverpool and like Ricky Tomlinson being on it.
Yeah.
Or like someone else from Brookside, or like Sinbad or some shit.
I love fucking Christian turning around to Bubbles and going, "How's your father, Bubbles?" Like, oh no.
Then we got the opening match, which was Cope and Christian versus FTR, Ball and Hair.
Yeah. I will say though, that was just there to go back to that. That was such a good way to open the show.
Yeah,
like it's cool. Like I can't remember when it was. There was one last year where JR was on the opening match, and they opened the show with JR like walking through the backstage area to make his entrance, and that was really
played his
cool.
Music and everything, and
it's cool when they do something where it's just not just pyro.
And it's a fun way to, especially because it's a fun way for, especially when they're doing shows in like different markets. It's a fun way to pop it's like a fun thing for the local crowd, right? Like they see, oh my god, like they like obviously, as you said, you didn't really watch much of Trailer Park Boys or know who the hockey guy was, but the local crowd knows, and they got a big. It's a fun way to get a big cheer from the local crowd.
It's like
it got the crowd going, and then we had Metalingus, and then we had the big sing along with Cope, and the whole thing just sort of rolled and got momentum, didn't it? Which was
and if when they go to Cardiff for Dynamite later this year, if they want to open the show with Dirty Sanchez as like
I mean, just get the cast of Gavin and Stacey. Just get Joanna Page and then lead it, and then have James Corden walking around to the ring.
I'd rather instead of that just have Mox kill James Corden.
We'd all like to see that.
I mean, he's not even from Wales.
No. Just Mox come out with like, or Cope come out with Spike.
Just Rob Brydon stuck to it, just like lift him up, like off his. He's only little, he could manage it.
This match was all right.
Match was kind of fine.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite fun. There was a lot of. It reminded me. This is going to sound like a really weird comparison, but I'll show me working out in a second. It kind of reminded me a bit of the same formula that like the first Bucks and FTR match had, where it wasn't necessarily like.
This isn't the 5-star match they can have. This is the 3-4-star match to tease you into it.
It was more it was more like emphasizing that this is like a dream match that you might only get to see once, and a love letter to like their eras of tag team wrestling. So like the way the Bucks and FTR they did like FTR did the DIY's finisher, and the Bucks did I think they did someone else's finisher, and basically people who meant something to them. And it was the same thing where FTR did the Power and the Glory, and then Cope and Christian did a 3D, and they went for
Edge did a tribute to fucking John Cena and got Cena channel the AEW crowd.
Hey, that was a better tribute to John Cena than was on WrestlePalooza. But also that's the building where Edge and Cena's most famous matches, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah,
the TLC match. So again, cool little shout out. But even with they did like the tease of doing like the Swanton and Twist of Fate before FTR like broke it up. But there was a couple of like cool little things that were just like callbacks to other tag teams. Yeah, I thought it was fine. It did what it
And
needed to do.
we got the return that I think some people were expecting at some point, but obviously Beth Copeland made their return.
I was expecting this at what was
Just
the
just before,
pay-per-view, wasn't there?
guys,
Where
when the fire came up, was anyone expecting Gangrel?
A little bit, not gonna lie.
Just for a second, were you thinking, "Oh my god,
nah,
what is Gangi?"
because
I did think,
Gangi's got his own music.
yeah, I did think it, but then once I realized, oh, that's another Alter Bridge song. Oh, it's Beth, amazing.
Yeah.
But before we move on from this match, we talk about Beth. I just want to talk about like the slight criticism of it. And I think so. Trevor Dame, who I'm a big fan of on social media, I think he tweets a lot of sense. He had a very good take on it, which I thought was. So he said, "Yeah, Cope and Christian versus FTR had some good elements and a lot of effort. Hometown crowd loved it, but like a lot of Cope stuff, it stinks of yesterday and of another promotion yesterday."
Yeah, that's a good point. Like that would be my main criticism of pretty much anything Cope does is that
It's weird how I mean again I'm not bagging on Cope. Like seeing him is
Cope's
cool
awesome.
and I'm glad I got to see him live at Forbidden Door. It was awesome and it was great. And I'm really happy and I'm happy that other people get to see him as well. But it's insane how well Christian adapted to AEW as a company and Cope is just doing Cope things.
So the difference with that though is that Christian's already done that, where he's left and gone somewhere else.
That's very true.
Whereas, like Christian, arguably, so Sean Ross Sapp said on Fightful actually recently, like people were saying, like what's one of the most influential moments in wrestling that doesn't get talked about enough?
Christian comes to TNA.
His answer was Christian going to TNA, and it was like when you think about it, yeah, because the amount of people who followed him and it legitimized them.
It was very much like the modern day betting on yourself that Cody did. Like
Yeah.
it was very like because obviously with WCW folding, there just wasn't that like obviously it wasn't the era of fucking Lex Luger making the jump, right? Or like
Yeah.
it was the first time that anything like that really happened. And
It wasn't like Ted Turner's going to give you a massive contract to go to another company. It was no, you have to go and do the work somewhere else. Like
Yeah.
And so many people look back on that time with such fondness for that era of TNA because of what Christian, because of the matches Christian Cage had, because what he did, like,
Oh, the Christian Coalition were awesome.
and that was arguably like the prime of his career as well. Like that was like
Yeah.
some of his best years. Which it wasn't like I'm not saying he's past it now, but it wasn't like his like final run like it is now in AEW. This was like him giving up the peak of his career.
I think the difference with Christian and Cope is that Christian's, as you say, he's been able to adapt, but not just to like the change in style. He's been able to adapt in the sense that he knows he's like not the same wrestler he was, so he's not going to try and work the same way that he was. He's gonna like he does a lot of like little things, and it to a degree kind of like you could say the same thing about like Cope as we have about Jericho, in the sense that he's trying to sort of live off his past with a new take on the character that he's already done elsewhere.
I don't want to rag entirely on what a lot of Cope's done though, because like I know people ragged on. I know a lot of people ragged on fucking Cope versus Mox. Like the first match wasn't that great, but their fucking second one, like that fucking match, the brutal match those two had,
and the street fight he had with Christian as well, or the I Quit match, with Christian, that was brilliant. But and I think Cope in AEW hasn't been bad. I just think I probably expected a lot more with a guy of his like talent, because he's like someone who like growing up was one of my favorite wrestlers, and
I think the more we see out of this Edge and Cope and Christian tag run, I think we might get more of that. I think especially when they. Like it's going to happen. We're going to get Cope and Cage versus the Bucks, and that's good. And honestly, I can very much see them doing a variation of the TLC match with Cope and Cage, the Bucks, and FTR, with like the Bucks being the modern day Hardys, FTR kind of taking the 3D role.
Oh, the Bully Ray moaning whinging online about that is going to be biblical.
But like I can see them doing something like that, and Edge, like Cope's always delivered in like the street, like the more hardcore matches that he's had in AEW. So I'm still really excited for it, and I'm really excited if we get to see more Beth out of this as well, because
I mean,
loved watching her when she was still actively wrestling.
based on what happened after the match and based on what happened on Dynamite this week with Willow and Jet Speed and FTR and Stoke, I think that they're going to build up to like a tag team and a women's wrestler against FTR and Stoke, so they can get to Christian and Cope and Beth versus FTR and Stoke.
We got plenty of Beth just like dominating Stokely in this match anyway when she come out, but like
she looked great.
Stoke was just being chivalrous. Stoke let her do.
I love the way
to get some hose basically.
I love the way that he said, like, his justification was, "I charged you because I was excited to meet you and I wanted to introduce myself."
I did really enjoy Willow's rebuttal to them though on last night. Like
Willow's promo on Dynamite this week was excellent. For those who haven't seen it.
But yeah, after the match, Beth gets a spike pile driver.
Yeah.
Whilst Cope's like chained up, and yeah.
I really love that as well, because like it was very much the moment like Beth knew what was going to happen. Like she goes down, kisses Cope, and she has that look of they're fucking behind me, aren't they? All right, and just goes for them, and it like there was no hesitation. She just went for like tried to get
what
again, boys. Another reference. Why didn't Cope use the power of his Hall of Fame ring to break the handcuffs?
So I could use Beth's as well.
Yeah, he had two there. He didn't use
two right there.
Utilize either of them. There's another deep cut for you. Oh god, that gives me fucking nightmares.
Oh, we've told Faye about that one. That's why she hates Abyss. The power of the Hall of Fame ring. One thing I will say with this, like with the finish, which was quite interesting, was obviously in the first match it was very much Cope and Christian the back. This one they looked like they kind of like got it, like they got the win by the skin of the teeth. Like,
I didn't really like the finish of this match.
I didn't, because Cope was kicking out of everything, like he was fucking.
It felt weird. He kicked out of everything and he pinned Dax off a fresh Dax off like one spear, and it felt weirdly unearned.
That's what I mean though. Like it felt like
if they just ended it after Beth had taken Stokely away, and then that's when Cope hits the spear, boom, over.
Perfect. Suggesting an FTR match might have gone a bit too long.
They might have overshot the finish a little bit.
I will.
I can't imagine it ever happening.
I will say the fact that they had Cope kick out of the spike pile driver and then like moments later try to sell it as like a literal like killing move.
He got a second shot machine that literally just woke him up.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand how that works.
Do you think he's trying to do the whole like kick out at one thing that he's seen a lot of the younger guys do, and he just doesn't understand how it works?
He can't get up in time. Also, he did the 5 moves of doom, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, well, that was just his little tribute to Cena, wasn't it? Because that was the build, and they had their most famous match.
Yeah, because Cena did a Roman Reigns spear, not an egg spear.
Cena like knocked into somebody. It was like he tripped over and barreled into someone. You couldn't call that a spear, mate. It's like a fucking Jey Uso spear. But yeah, I thought this was fine. As I say, it felt more like a love letter to the eras that they've both come from than anything else. And I think,
I must admit, at this point, it feels a bit like an exhibition sort of thing, doesn't it? And if that's the situation, then I'm fine with that. It's not every. We've always said that AEW is a broad church, and every match is a 5-star work rate match. Sometimes it's big moments, sometimes it's comedy, sometimes it's something else.
And this is like when they've had Cope and Christian on the same roster for coming up to 2 years, and they've only just become a team now,
and they've been very reserved about putting them together, which has been quite nice.
And I mean, they could have just like blew the load, had the Hardys versus Cope and Christian like the first weekend, and it wouldn't have made any fucking sense. At least they've kind of got a bit of a story behind it. Out of all the matches I wanted to see Cope and Christian wrestle, this was in the top like 3, sure. So
yeah, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Right then, moving on. The return of Eddie Kingston to take on Big Bill. So one thing that. So for a couple of disappointments, well, quite a few disappointments about this match, but then a lot of big positives as well. First of all, Eddie's music was really quiet when it came on, and I was I was
Yeah.
really upset by that. I wanted it to like absolutely blast out and pump
So-
the fuck up. I had my Eddie Kingston t-shirt on. I was really ready for this. I was hype. I was good to go. Eddie's back. At first, I thought as well, because the whole thing, Bill was like in the run up. Big Bill was like calling Eddie out, and there was no response from Eddie on TV. Anyway, it was all on social media, and Big Bill's like repeatedly said, "I don't think you're going to show up. I don't think you're going to be there." I thought they were going to do that thing where they play his music and he doesn't come out, and they play it like 2 or 3 times, and then he does eventually. But no, he just came out straight away.
Nah, you can't do that with Eddie. But so one thing that I thought, which it was kind of like a thing all night, because was the crowd didn't. It wasn't that they didn't have the energy. It felt like the crowd wasn't mic'd properly to pick up the sound.
It did sound. So people in the arena again. It was the same that happened. I think in Forbidden. What happened? Was it All In or Forbidden Door? Like people said, oh, the crowd sounded really quiet, but everyone who was there was like, everyone who was there was like, well, we were at Forbidden Door. It was loud as fuck. We know that.
I've seen like a fan video of like the reunion after the ladder match, and it's like the loudest fucking thing I've ever heard. It's like that was loud on camera, but it wasn't that loud.
But also, like I said again, I think that the entrance music were weirdly muted as well. Sometimes, like say Eddie's was a little quiet there.
I think with Eddie's they wanted to like try and magnitude the pop though.
I mean, the pop was great, and it was amazing. People were on their feet. People were like loving it. Eddie had his Claudio Sucks Eggs shirt on.
I fucking love that. Straight away, he's beefing with Swiss.
As Sarah said as well, like he comes out. There's no special gear. There's no big entrance. He's just Eddie Kingston. He just takes his t-shirt off and he's wearing the yellow and black singlet. And it's like, yeah, all right.
Hey, he did have new boots.
He did have new boots, actually.
He had wrestling boots made to look like Tim's, which is cool as fuck.
Match was fine. I mean, Eddie Kingston's been out for 16 months. You know, he's going to have to brush a bit of rust off.
Big Bill was the perfect opponent for him, I thought, because it was like a big guy who is a solid worker, who Eddie can kind of work around and, as you say, get like sort of like brush a bit of the rust off.
And like Eddie's just so dedicated to that like all Japan kind of style as well, where like when they, you know, you see it a lot of time when like they come back from an injury, they are rusty. They play into the rust. They play into the I've not wrestled for so long. I'm not at my 100%, and they I think maybe went too far in this match. Not gonna lie, but yeah, it was. It's just great having Eddie back, you know.
Again, finish was weird. So Eddie goes for an hurricane, utterly misses. And then Big Bill sells it like he's been hit. Tony Schiavone on commentary says, that missed. And then they go for the finish. So Excalibur and Danielson have to cover to say that no, it actually hit. Which was very odd. It's one of them. It's probably just nerves and like, you know, a bit of time and off. There was time a little bit, and then
there was a few things like that, wasn't it? Like there was when Bill went for the black hole slam, and Eddie like didn't like his feet like kind of like didn't leave the floor properly.
I mean, they sold it though by saying like Eddie's a big guy and it was hard for him to get up.
But then Bill went back and just did it again. It was like
But they probably could have done that with the finish. Like if Eddie had known, I don't think Eddie knows how much it missed. If they'd known how much he'd missed him by, he probably would have just did him another one.
He didn't miss the second one. Did not miss that second one on Brian Keith afterwards.
No, but
Bill went killed Brian Keith.
Bill went down like he'd been shot after the one that didn't hit him, so he kind of had to pin him, which was so one thing I really liked. So obviously after the match, they get the jump, and Hook comes out, makes the save. Brian Keith gets back fisted so hard he goes into the future. There's a Chikara reference for you, and so all of this, like obviously, was it a perfect 5-star match? Absolutely not. Is it lovely to have Eddie back? It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And then as like before they cut away, when Eddie and Hook are celebrating in the ring, Eddie just looks right down the camera and says, "I've missed this. I've missed you," and that absolutely just broke me. To see Eddie Kingston just because you know he's got a very complicated relationship with wrestling and sort of people's perception of him as a wrestling star and as a sort of hero figure. He doesn't like sort of being idolized by people because it makes him feel uncomfortable, and he's talked about this at length, and he's got a really sort of massive mental health journey that he's been through. So because anytime I see Eddie like accepting a bit of love from people, it just melts my heart. Like it absolutely does.
Yeah, he especially like with this, and he'd probably be made up by this comparison, but also would play it down because it's Eddie Kingston. He's very much like a modern day Terry Funk. Yeah, he's literally just doing it at this point for the love of the fucking game.
Well, he talked and he said like after this injury, he thought about retiring. And he was going to call it a day, and then Homicide came up to him and was like, no, I've had to retire, and it sucks. Like, go out on your own terms.
Yeah, and I think as well, like Eddie getting that moment, it's like it reminded me so much of that first show after the pandemic, where when Eddie walks out and everyone goes fucking feral for him, he's like,
yeah,
it's awesome. I love Eddie Kingston. I'd fight a war for him.
I'm glad he's back. And him and Hook, and he cut that really cool promo afterwards. And him and Hook, I think, could work really well together. I'm really intrigued to see where they go with this.
Yeah.
If they pick up one more person, have a trios match against Joe and Hobbs and Shibata, I'd be all for it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else they could pick up. Who else is in New Yorker?
Blanking now. Bear Bronson, bring him back in.
He's been putting the work in, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Mark Briscoe and MJF, their tables and tax match. My God. Okay, so the first two matches were kind of ease you in, sort of like, nothing, not blowing the doors off. This match blew the doors off.
Oh, this is awesome.
It's like from the get-go, like I was dubious what this match was gonna be just because of it's one of those stipulations where it's like, what's this gonna be? It sounds a bit naff and possibly a bit daft. But when Bret Mark dumped all those tacks on the fucking canvas, this match straight away the canvas was covered in tacks. It's like, oh, this is like a barbed wire match where the whole thing is don't go into the fucking ropes. Yeah. This is a don't fucking slam into the floor because it's gonna be brutal, and it was so brutal.
But at the same time, they were so good at like pacing it, and like they didn't like everything was drawn out just perfectly. They teased things to the point of perfection, and this is Briscoe's bread and butter, isn't it? He's so good at stuff like this. He's done every batch of stipulation match in the world, and he knows how to wring all the emotion out of a moment. And MGF, like, give this man his fucking flowers, because he was in Arena Mexico the night before having a 5-star masterpiece.
Fucking, like, if there's that, you need to watch that match. Like,
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it while I edit this.
Generally, for me, that is a match of the year candidate for me. Woo! Like, genuinely, that is up there with one of my matches of the year. That his match with Mystico, like, it is so, like, that is also, for entirely different reasons, another brutal match. Like, you think they bled in this match? Watch that match. Like,
and that match finished 13 hours before this match started.
That's insane.
Like,
so in 13 hours, he had a match, flew, not from Mexico he flew over America, from Mexico to Canada.
And then put on this match.
And then did this match, which was, an absolute, like, blood and guts nonsense match.
Picked up two losses over a weekend as well.
Yeah, but what a 36 hours that man had. Like,
Jesus. Oh no, Christ. I mean that is like, because obviously there's the sort of like, oh, we don't want MJF to win all the time. I know, certainly from me, nice to see him actually lose a match where it was warranted he should have lost this match.
And then cut a hell of a promo afterwards for those who watch Dynamite. I like MJF for me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, MJF is probably one of my favorite wrestlers. Like, what is up there for me? Like, one of those, like, top 5 wrestlers.
Brilliant wrestler.
But when he's in these situations, when he's in these real story, dramatic, but also like brutal matches like this, he fucking excels. Like, you go back to the dog collar match with fucking Punk, like, he excels in this environment. He thrives in this environment. And then when you put him backstage, he's one of the best promos, I think, when he's doing like a backstage segment. They always fucking hit.
I mean, like, when both these guys came out wearing like pure white, you knew what was on the cards here.
Yeah. No one was coming away unscathed in this one.
You know, there's gonna be buckets of blood, and there was.
Briscoe was like pissing blood within like about 5 minutes of this match.
And MJF looked like he was literally pissing blood with that red on his fucking scrotch.
But this was, as you say, this was paced brilliantly. It was really clever the way MJF went outside and like put the tables under the ring. So then by the time they got reintroduced, the crowd was like red hot for them. And there was just a lot of like really like good spots building around the attacks, as you say, as well. That Alabama slam onto the tacks that MJF did is going to fucking haunt me, because the fact that Briscoe sat up and he had them sticking out the back of his head, and it was like,
Man's
You
got like a 3-week-old baby at
fucking
home.
yeah,
Like he
you
needs to be
fucking
okay.
lunatic. Yeah, he's got 10 kids.
He's
Man's,
legitimately got no more space on his ribs to get their names tattooed.
well, he hasn't got the last two tattooed. Yeah, he's got
No,
space for them. He's just not got them done.
probably the soles of
Um,
his feet or something. For the space he's got left.
but yeah, this was awesome and really, really good to see Mark win because
Mhm.
again, the fact that they built this over the summer where Mark's been unable to hit the J driller, that when he finally hit it, um,
So good.
yeah,
I hope this, because this is his first. I think this is like his first big like AEW pay per view win. I know he beat Eddie on the Ring of Honor show,
mm,
but I think this is his first big AEW pay per view win, and I'd really love to see this translate into a strong C2 performance for him this year.
I think we might be getting like because I know
I
Mark wants to go for a title, right? That's the whole thing. Briscoe wants a title. He's going for after the Don Callis family. I think we're probably going to be getting Fletcher versus Briscoe at like Wrestle Dream or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean to be honest, like Danielson said that on Dynamite this week, and it wouldn't surprise me based on the fact that as well Hangman's already said it. I wouldn't be surprised if they just did Hangman and Briscoe, just not necessarily on pay per view, but like just as like a TV match.
I can see
Um,
that because
I would
that
love
was the
that.
whole fucking tease right beforehand. Like Hangman
Mm.
said, if to
you
Briscoe,
beat
if you beat
MJF,
MJF, yeah,
then you get shot.
I mean, I know it makes sense on like a special dynamite, but I'd love like a Grand Slam or something. But I would love just once for Mark Briscoe to headline an AEW pay per view, even if he
I'd
doesn't win.
I'd literally maybe I mean Wrestle Dream would be perfect because there's clearly going to be another match that's made event in that show based on everything that's going on with it.
Like, remember that promo we cut before he wrestled John Moxley about like how he never got his shot and like how it was like never his time and all this, and
Yeah,
it was like unbelievable. It was so emotional and it was so cool. Like,
the
just
the promo he cut when he was in his gym, like the real fucking series when he cut an MGF, like filmed from his
mm,
house, like that was the Briscoe that I wanted, like the vicious fucking Briscoe from ROH days. Like that was amazing,
yeah.
brilliant to see.
He's such like an unsung hero, isn't he? In AEW at the moment, though, and you think of like guys who you can rely on to just go out and have a fucking brilliant match.
oh,
Um,
I'm
cut
never
up brilliant.
not having a good time when Mark Briscoe's
Yeah,
wrestling. Like,
he's one of my favorite people to watch. Like if Mark Briscoe's on my TV, I'm a happy guy because
everything he does is just so, and in the ring is just so, and even outside the ring is just so entertaining. He's magnetic. You can't not watch him when he's on your screen.
yeah, even like when they're just putting like the trios matches on with
Mm,
Mark and the conglomeration, it's like he's always the most entertaining thing in those matches, or he's always the most entertaining like part in the build up to it. It's great to see him finally get like that like big win.
yeah.
I think over a guy like MJF as well, it really like legitimizes him as like a guy who they can put into the main event.
And like, there's a whole story going to like MJF wanted this feud. Like, this was a feud that MJF asked to have, and you can
Mm,
fucking see why with how the match they had and the story they've told.
They've really had like loads to like get their teeth into, and like yeah, like
yeah,
even like the first like it was so beautifully done. Like the first promo when like MJF was bringing up like Jay Briscoe, but not in a way you'd have expected. Like he didn't mock Jay for being dead. He mocked Mark for not being Jay, which was a really interesting. Like you think, oh, MJF's going to go for the
Mhm.
cheap heat now. He's just going to say, oh, Jay's dead. He's in hell or whatever, you know. But no, he was
yeah,
like, no, I'm sorry that Jay died because he was better than you. And it's like, oh fuck, that's actually really cool. Like it's a really cool way
and
to spin this feud.
yeah, especially because like Jericho tried to do the same thing, and it did
Didn't
just
work.
kind of feel tacky.
Mm,
Whereas the way MJF did it, it felt like sincere in the sense that Jay Briscoe was one of the people that really inspired me to be a wrestler. Why aren't you him?
mm.
And
Yeah, it
it
was
was,
great.
yeah. Also, Danielson on commentary in this match was
So
outstanding.
good.
I
Yeah.
mean, throughout the show, but
Oh
this
yeah,
match,
Danielson on this entire show was
yeah.
Danielson commentary altogether has been yeah, incredible. Again,
Mm.
I'll go back to I saw it before when I was scrolling through another Trevor Dame tweet about Danielson, which was fantastic. Um,
I saw a tweet where it was it was after Darby and Mox, where like we'll get to it when we get to it, but someone said wrestling looks at Danielson like the Green Goblin's mask looks at him. And I was like, yeah, that's fucking it. That's it right there.
So he said, I think Tony Khan's real motivation to putting Danielson on commentary is making him lose his mind to incredible matches inches away from him until he thinks, you know what, I don't need to walk when I'm 60 and come back to wrestling.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
mean, the look he had after the Derby versus Mox match, I think maybe if that's foreshadowing something.
Well, the thing is with that, not to get too distracted, but before we get to it, but the idea before like Danielson realized that his neck was like more fucked than he thought was to do Darby versus Danielson and do like a little feud with them. So maybe that's one of the like not the I wouldn't say it's a dream match, but it's definitely one of the like unticked boxes of matches that AEW needed to do. So I could see Danielson coming out of retirement for that.
Right then, moving on to what is possibly the pleasant surprise of the night for me, a match that I didn't really have a lot of investment in. I kind of wasn't all that bothered about. Actually, ended up really enjoying. It was the Demand, newly named Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toliona versus the Head Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP in his wrestling attire, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, this was very fun. A lot of just Hoss fighting and Ricochet being like
Ricochet is also here.
Yeah. Ricochet was like the guy who's been like conscripted to a war who just doesn't want to be there. Like in a war zone.
What a year he's had, man. Jesus Christ.
He's been fucking excellent. He's like him and I was gonna say about Mark Briscoe, like he's like kind of like one of the unsung heroes of this year, but you can't say that without saying Ricochet's been as well.
Ricochet's just settled into that mid card, and I don't mean that like he's in the mid card. Like he has just held down that mid card so well, and like he's been part of. I think I said it a couple of episodes, a couple of months ago. Like AEW's roster has like it's stiffened up. It's like the floor has increased, like the sort of level that you have to be, the minimum level now. And I don't mean this in a negative way. Like the floor is Blake Christian. He is your bottom of the rung like enhancement talent who loses all of his matches, and he's that good. And like so, if you want to get on that show, you've got to be at least as good as Blake Christian, and that's a higher bar.
I think as well, like the beauty of like the way this is kind of staggered with when you say mid card is that there's so many guys who they can drop down into the mid card, but they could just as easily pop up into the main event if they need to be there. Like
what Ricochet is now, he is the mid card gatekeeper to end all mid card gatekeepers.
Yeah, but
it's also a situation where you give Ricochet with obviously the Gates of Agony, you give them a couple of wins, put him against Hangman. Hanger versus Ricochet.
Literally what I was about to say. Like if you literally like start building now Ricochet and Hangman for Full Gear, Ricochet wouldn't feel out of place in that title match at all.
No.
Like,
and I'd be all fucking here for it.
They've got it where there's guys who are around the mid card who you can do a little tiny bit of build. They go right up. Kyle Fletcher's just done it on All Out. We've just literally just mentioned Mark Briscoe, and I think that's where they might go with that. Ricochet's another guy. They could just do that as like that tomorrow, and he's there. Bobby Lashley as well.
Yeah.
Like it's a really, really good problem to have.
Well, we know Hangman's got a really good match against the big guy in him because he had that really good. He works really well with Lance Archer. So
that match he had with Brian Cage, like
I'd love to see him. Oh, that was the first match back with crowd. That was the Eddie pay. That was the match before Mox and Eddie with the Young Bucks.
Yeah,
and it was awesome.
Yeah. So we know Hangman's got a good hoss fight in him. So that Bobby would like allow Hangman to win.
Yeah, but this match was fun. MVP hitting all of his signature moves. He did the baller elbow drop thingy. That was cool.
Well, the whole story was that like they isolated MVP, took out his knee because he's had like 4 surgeries on it.
Yeah.
And then by the time like MVP was like, shit, I need to get out of here, they'd already took out Bobby and Shelton.
Yeah. And to know he beat the allegations, MVP took the pin in this match. Literally, Sarah said to me, because MVP was in the ring, she went, "Do you reckon MVP's in this match just so we can take the pin?" And as she was saying that, he got pinned.
I mean, to be honest with that though, I think that was the most logical thing they could have done anyway.
It makes sense because he's like the weak link because he's not the full-time wrestler.
He's not a full-time wrestler anymore. He's a manager.
Yeah.
and he can go when he needs to, but also like you've got to assume that they need to keep Shelton and Bobby strong, so they can just drop back into that tag division if they need to, or drop into the C2 or
Yeah.
whatever they need to do. And yeah, I agree that it is they're not beating the allegations, but also at least this time it did make a bit of fucking sense.
I liked how the finish went as well. Like, was it Khan holding him up for Richard hit the spirit gun on him? That looked really cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really liked
because
that.
MVP went for the overdrive, which is possibly the worst finisher
Which
in wrestling.
the world's shittest finisher.
It's
I
like,
was not gonna lie, I popped when he went for it because like it is that dumb of a fucking move. But also, I feel like there was a time period where it was everybody's when they first got onto the main roster. That was their finisher because I
yeah,
think Randy Orton
Randy
had it for a
Orton
time
had it as his
had it
finisher when he
finisher
started
for a
out, yeah.
bit.
Before he realised this is the drizzling shit and I need a fucking RKO in my book. But yeah, it was clever because Khan grabbed his knee and held him in place, and then Ricochet just fucking wiped him out. Yeah, I really like the new presentation for the Demand as well, with like the three like. I believe it's a One Piece reference. I'm
It
not
is, yeah.
a big
Yeah,
anime
it's the
guy.
one.
Yeah,
Ricochet is nothing but a massive weeb.
He's a
So,
fucking huge weeb. I'm not a big anime guy, so I was like just going off Twitter, like losing the mind, going, it's this off One Piece. Is like, okay.
but it really fucking suits them. Like they've got
Yeah, it
such
looked cool as
style and
fuck.
such like yeah.
Also,
And
congrats to the Gates of Agony who just signed new contracts as well. Obviously, I think we spoke about this in Discord, Jay. They've been those guys who've just got their head down and done the work. And like,
Toa Leona in particular has improved so fucking much. Like he's you can see he's like really taking it seriously. Like he's lost a shit ton of weight. He's just working a lot more like he should be as a big guy. Like he feels he's gone from being like just a stereotypical big brawler to feeling like he stands out a bit more. And that match with Bobby Lashley as well on Dynamite, he said that himself. That was like his coming out party. He was like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
yeah. But yeah, really, really impressive. I'm glad they got a big win here. It was really nice to see them.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Herd Syndicate aren't bothered by this. They're bulletproof. MVP took the pin. Everything's still fine with them.
Mm-hmm.
Get Bobby, like you say, pop Bobby up into the top picture for it. Let's have a laugh. Let's have a go.
Like if you go back like what a year or two when the Gates of Agony first kind of came into it and look at where they are now, like this is a team that's been built over the last year or two from basically enhancement talent to like you could throw them against Brodido, like and it'd be like fucking yeah. You know,
well,
which,
they
again
did
they did
this
on
week on
Dynamite,
Dynamite.
like, and it was like absolutely.
I mean,
And it was really fun.
They were Swerve's replacement for Trench
Fucking
and
Trench.
Parker Udo.
Trench isn't real, mate.
Because remember they were very briefly under Tully Blanchard, and then they were under Prince Nana, and that was how Prince Nana and Swerve got together. Which so
wasn't they also connected to Shane Taylor before like the ROH buyout?
Yeah, I don't know if both of them were. No, Bishop Khan was definitely in Shane Taylor Promotions.
Because didn't they beat Dalton Castle and the boys for the 6-man titles?
It was Brian Cage and the Gates, yeah.
Cage of Agony.
Cage of Agony. Not to be confused with I don't know.
That cage that people make you wear on your dick so you can't.
That would have been the perfect fucking segue into the Terradome.
The real Cage of Agony is the Steel Asylum. Don't worry.
The Steel Asylum, the Terradome, whatever you want to call it. The cage match in many names. Faye's not here, so I'll save that.
So after this match, strap in because it's literally title time, almost all the way down, with one exception. Which I thought was an interesting way to do it, like back ending with all the title matches. If it was good because it made them feel really big. I thought.
Did they do that on? Was it All In? They did that on?
I think it was. I think it's a trend they've started doing. I was putting because they used to always like throw a title match at the start of the show, didn't they? To like sort of get everyone going, like one of the women's title matches or something.
I kind of prefer that where they had like Mercedes open the show because it was always like a banger to.
I don't know. I think I like the idea that like because again it's a bit more Ollie, you know better than me. It feels a bit more like an MMA sort of presentation where you have like the title fights coming at the end and like,
you have the big matches right at the very end.
I know the money fights, if you will.
There's been very much there's a trend that's very much has been set by the WWE where like they have a massive fucking banger of a match at the start of the show, mostly because Brock wanted to either be on first or be on fucking last. And
He's got piss for to watch, mate. He's a busy man.
Yeah.
So I think I think there's very much has been a trend where you put a massive banger on at the start, and I guess they did way back when WCW were like the cruiserweights, right? You put like a really fast, zippy match on at the start, which I'm all for. But yeah, title matches, the big matches, the title matches, whack them at the end because those are the important matches where
I guess
that prestige about it.
That's kind of like the way Wrestle Kingdom's staggered as well, isn't it? Where they'll have they'll have like all the title matches, and then they'll have like one of the marquee matches in between as well, or maybe one.
And then the start of the show is
matches.
like the start of the show is either like things like the Rambo or it's your multi-man matches, and then you just work your way up.
Yeah. If you want to do this, bring back the Battle Royals.
Yeah.
But for me, this was where the pay-per-view really kind of picked, like, going back, like, obviously you had the Briscoe and MJF match, which was stellar, but like from here on out, things really just it was like serious banger, like just the rest of this card.
I think when this match started, I was like, because you can see behind me, I blurred it, but like we live in a one bed flat, so like our kitchen and living room's in the same room. So I was like stood in the kitchen, like getting some food ready, and like Mercedes or like Rio's music hit, and I realized this match is done next. And I literally turned to Sam with, "Oh right, it's big money time now. It's go time."
Yeah, we ain't playing anymore.
Yeah, it did feel like you say, Ollie. It did feel like it kicked into another gear from like sort of this match onwards. Not so much in like terms of not necessarily in terms of in-ring action, but in terms of like how the matches were presented and how they felt.
And especially as well, like I know the builds to this match is people are a bit meh with. Like Rio did have one or two rusty matches going into this, but she had this was a cracking match between Monet and Rio. Like I really enjoyed this match. The two really kind of worked well together, and I really do like Rio's style. And
it's just another really good Mercedes match in a long list of really good Mercedes matches.
Yeah, I was gonna say my only criticism of this was I felt like it could have gone a bit longer, but
16 minutes. It's short for a Mercedes match. She's been going over 20 with a couple, hasn't she? So,
but like that's like a minor criticism where I was like that could have quite easily been like a 20-minute match, and I wouldn't have been upset about it.
And Jay, that's the only criticism anybody's had about this match on the internet. So
I'm sure, and no one said anything else about Rio because why would they? Because
they'd be agreeing with a guy who is horrific opinions on Japanese women and Joshi wrestlers. Who would want to agree with somebody like that?
Yeah, exactly. Who would do that?
But yeah, match was really fun. So one thing Sarah said to me while this match was almost like, "Oh, this could be interesting because Rio's like one of those people who Mercedes can actually hit a finisher on."
And she tried.
Well, she did. No, because she did. They shot it horribly live because they got it on the wrong angle. But then on the replay, they showed it and it looked really good.
I think whenever like Mercedes finisher is designed for like because bear in mind when she debuted that finisher, she thought she was going to be working New Japan Stardom for like the first year and then going to AEW.
It was designed for women like Rio, not like, oh, by the way,
it was designed for Joshi wrestlers, not for like
Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander. It's like, oh shit, okay, I can't pick these women up.
Yeah, there was a bit in the middle of this match that I really enjoyed. It was when Rio was in the surfboard stretch and then goes into just like driving Mercedes' knee into the match and then following it with that single leg crab that looked fucking painful. Proper wrench the hell out of it, and then going to like the Mystica and the crossface and like rolling back and forth. Like it was such a fun little bit of like just submission after submission and just really fucking fun.
Just hear Mike Logan crying backstage when that single leg crab went on. It was like, oof, yeah, that's a real single leg crab.
So, one thing that is interesting is it feels like they're starting to wind down Mercedes' title reign. Like the Forbidden Door, she got out by the skin of her teeth because it was a 4-way. This match, like Rio was largely dominant. There was a long period of time where it was like, fuck me, like they're gonna just. I thought like for a period of time, I was thinking, fuck me, they're gonna do the switch here, and they didn't in the end.
I don't. That is not going to happen until she gets past Jade's date, which is coming up.
It's very soon. It's in the next month or so, isn't it?
Yeah, because I think they are going past that date.
Who do we think's going to dethrone her?
Mercedes is at 486 and Jade was 508, so it's the next month.
the next 2 weeks. No, 3
So
weeks.
it could literally
Could
be
be
a
Wrestle Dream.
where she drops it.
I reckon Full Gear. That's where they usually have like a big title change, isn't it? That seems like it could be because it's one of.
I mean, this show shows they're willing to do something a little bit unpredictable at times.
Yeah, it does.
Get onto that in a bit, but yeah,
it does. I mean, I fucking called that, so I don't know how unpredictable that is. But yeah, I think they definitely feel like I think with what got announced on Dynamite with the women's tag titles, like there's a lot of. It feels like all of a sudden there's a lot of gears in motion for things happening, like women's tag titles. Athena and Billy are more certainly going to be in that tournament. That's going to lead to Athena dropping the ROH women's title. That then frees Athena up to potentially take the belt off Mercedes if that's what they want to do. Mercedes definitely feels like she's winding this element of the rundown, and then she can go after Stat for the women's title.
I can see Mercedes going after the tag titles again, just to do the whole I can beat Ultimo Dragon's title collection.
But the problem Mercedes has got is she's got no friends. Who's she going to tag with?
She's got the Renegades.
Yeah.
Look at them back, but that's women's trios titles. We'll get to that eventually.
Just one Renegade.
To be honest, like just do Mercedes and Harley.
You could
put them as a team again. That was
after Stat eventually kills Harley.
Don't worry about it. It's not going to happen, mate. Plus, Harley's got Willow as well. But there's plenty of people there that Mercedes could tag with. I don't know who, but off the top of my head, but there's plenty of people. Plenty of people not doing stuff as well. But back to this match, it definitely felt like Rio could have won this, and it wouldn't have been as much of a surprise as I thought with the way it was kind of portrayed. Mercedes had to basically cheat to win, which I'm against like someone like Rio, who, as we said, like Mercedes had the size advantage, and Mercedes obviously, like as far as being on AEW week by week, Mercedes has definitely been there a lot more than Rio has. Like it, not saying it should have been business as usual, but it was like it should have been.
It feels like the end is coming.
Yeah,
it feels like the end is coming.
It should have been a more emphatic win. I like that. Yeah. I like the fact though that since Mercedes lost to Tony, Mercedes, you can see it isn't the same.
Yeah.
Which is a great little storytelling.
Maybe Tony dethrones her.
Ooh.
That would be fun.
Because Tony is like, whenever Mercedes sees Tony, she looks like she's got fucking PTSD from that one loss and that power driver off the top rope, I imagine. So yeah, maybe that's what happens with. But yeah, next up we had was this match of the night?
This was
incredible. It's in the argument, wasn't it? Okada, Mascara Dorada, and Takeshita, and oh boy, this was fucking good.
Literally, we got to like 10 minutes into this match, and I was like, "Just put the belt on Dorada. Don't care. I know I want Takeshita for Okada, but put the title on Dorada. Holy shit, this guy's incredible.
He's a bit good, isn't he?
And he's only like 22, 23. Isn't he? 23. He's in his early 20s anyway. He's young as fuck. I know Bandido said he keeps saying to Tony Khan, get him on one of those like dual contracts that Hechisero's got. So
yep,
I imagine that's probably going to happen.
Yeah, if he let that man leave Canada without at least looking at a contract, that's malpractice.
Have you seen his match he had with Bandido in Ring of Honor?
No.
Oh yeah, it's fucking good. It was in Arena Mexico as well. It was when they did the show there. So yeah, that's very, very good.
He's also involved in a trios match with Mystico and again Mystico.
That isn't it?
Yeah, versus Hechicero. It's part of CM Hellcry versus Pokemon. Fucking,
Oh,
I love that CML has a fucking Pokemon event that's happening. This, I think it's literally happening either tonight or tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, that Trails touch looks like it's gonna be a banger.
I
I
hope
also
they
love
all.
how like AEW now through this partnership with the CMLL, presumably Tony just has a button in his office that when he presses, just random luchadors appear.
Yeah,
Like, do you want? I press a button. Oh, Templarios here. Sound. Go wrestle with Brody King. And it's like, all
Yeah,
right.
Mystico, Masquerade, Teton versus Volador Jr., Hechicero, and Cabanero. And oh my god, that's going to be an incredible match.
Yeah.
I hope they all dress as like different legendary Pokemon.
Someone's got to dress as like Halucha. Like, someone's got to do the fucking like mega Halucha thing that's
That
just got announced the other week.
that's what the event's for, isn't it? To launch
It's
that Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it got announced the same time that a mega Halucha was revealed.
hmm
Um, yeah, it's happening today.
Oh,
So
nice,
yes.
nice. I might watch that while I'm editing. Um, yeah, it was just very good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just like,
And we haven't even talked about the fact that Takeshita was also there.
well, that's the thing. Like the Rada was like the perfect sort of like, because obviously Okada and Takeshita, when they finally have that singles match, it's going to be fucking insane. Like just everything that we were getting, like the little bits drip fed to us in this match with Okada and Takeshita, it was like, oh boy, that's going to be
And
fucking good.
every time they touched, the crowd are into it.
Yeah,
But like, also, I feel like the crowd, like hearing the crowd get behind Dorada in this throughout the course of this match was amazing to hear. Like when he went for the fucking double Hurricane Run, like off the top rope to both of them.
yeah, and there was that. It was the thing where didn't Okada like pop him up and then he arm dragged Takeshita.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, the fuck.
How are you doing this?
There was that really, really grotty bit where he did the dive and Takeshita caught him and just brain busted him on the ramp.
Yeah, oh,
That was horrifying. But yeah, the whole match was like, again, they all three guys just gelled brilliantly. There was that amazing Rainmaker reversal into the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Yeah.
Um, and basically the thing that cost Takeshita in this match was he wanted to pin Okada.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like he had the Rada, he killed him with a power drive knee, and then he turned around and like went for Okada, went for the knee, and Okada like just drop kicked him, and then he
Rainmaker to Dorada.
yeah,
And then that was it.
Rainmaker Dorada threw Takeshita out the ring, and Okada wins. I was wondering how they were going to kind of drag out the Okada and Takeshita split because it felt like they were trying to like not cool it down, but pour a bit of cold water on it for like basically getting into the C2.
I was going to say this is all going to come to head in the C2, isn't it?
Oh,
like
this is the final of the C2.
Yeah,
it's got to be
without shadow of a doubt.
They keep going on about Okada being the best tournament wrestler of all time,
and Takeshi's just won the G1,
and they're setting up for Takeshi to beat him in the final. Like that's going to be the big like.
He's going to beat
Okada, torch, but the big sort of like moment, isn't it?
He's going to win the IWT Championship. He's going to beat Okada in the C2, and he's going to take both belts into Wrestle Kingdom.
And he's going to come to the pool and give me a big kiss, and it's going to be lovely.
Yeah, I'd be intrigued to see who he wrestles at Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, but you can't come to Liverpool now. We haven't got a Cinnabon anymore.
No.
They've closed all the Cinnabons in the UK. Thanks, Cinnabon. You've ruined it for Takeshi. He's never going to come back to the UK.
We'll have to just send them pictures of the cinnamon buns from Caribou Poutine.
I mean, I'll get one of them. I'll buy one. I'll buy 6 of them.
I'll buy. You can buy 4. They have an offer for buying 4. Yeah, just buy them a box of 4. Be made up.
That's like the size of 2 Cinnabon, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be so happy. But yeah, this was fucking outstanding.
This was. I don't want to put it into that bracket, but this was for me as a triple threat match. This was up on the level of Kenny, Orange, and Pac.
Yeah, agreed.
That level of just on that not so much like blow for blow, because that level of just it was just perpetual motion. Like average triple threat matches have moments where like one guy's just stood outside the ring waiting, another 2 people wrestle in the ring. This was like constantly switching in and out. The timing was perfect. They got the flow of the match down so perfectly.
they've set like a really good standard for triple threats when it comes to this title as well. Well, the international title, but obviously linearly it's gone into this title. Like you look at last year, Takeshita, Ricochet, and Ospreay. Earlier in the year, we had Kenny, Speedball, and Ricochet.
Also, just to put it in perspective as well, like no one in this match speaks perfect English, and two people speak Japanese, one person speaks Spanish, and they've still managed to put a match together of this complexity.
Okada speaks Spanish as well.
Yes, he does. Yeah, do you reckon it was just Okada like running between everybody, like sorting all the spots out?
I think Dorada speaks a decent bit of English though, and Okada and Takeshita do. So I imagine between them, they probably.
But just like the complexities, like this must be hard to put together if you were all American, let alone the fact that like we're sort of it spans the globe.
If not, you've got Don Callis, who's probably just like there.
To just make weird faces.
Yeah, exactly.
By the medium of Don Callis' sex face, we're going to put this match together.
Don Callis' hechicero face.
Oh god, that's so upsetting.
Yeah, that's. I would say as well, like this. With this match, that's like the Okada that people like are like, where's the Okada we were promised? This is the Okada you were promised.
Literally, this is what this. Yeah.
But also, if you ever watch fucking New Japan, like Okada would have like 6-mans or like multi-mans where he wouldn't have to do bits. So then when he get into a big match, he could do this shit.
Yeah, and again, it's biased, isn't it? Because like when you're an American or an English or like a non-Japanese wrestling fan, you don't see all like the smaller New Japan shows. You only see his Wrestle Kingdom matches. You only see his like big pay-per-view matches. So you got this idea in your head that every Okada match is this like 35-minute super epic. Like no, man worked like house shows and like did like fuck all.
They don't remember Balloon Okada.
Not like Long Pants Okada.
Oh god!
But when the big lights come on and it's time to get to work, Okada puts his fucking boots on.
There's a reason why he's, and also it's like work smarter, not harder. Like he knows that he can have like at least another like 10-15 years.
Yeah,
wrestling the style he's wrestling at, where he has like a big match like this,
and again
once a month.
A soundbite I've completely ripped off. I think it was Simon Miller says that Okada has the best last 2 minutes in all of wrestling.
Yeah, he absolutely does.
I love as well that they've put the respect back on the fucking Rainmaker. Like it is one and done, and you are not getting up.
Just one.
Yeah,
just one. So when Takeshita undoubtedly is going to kick out of it, it's going to be fucking insane.
Well, they had Ospreay kick out, didn't they, at World's End, and everyone went fucking mental for it.
But it is.
Did Kenny kick out?
Don't think so. Can't remember it. They did.
Can't remember. I need to go back and rewatch
it's
that.
Like, well, again, I mean, to not go. I've not seen Dynamite, but I've seen like some clips. On Dynamite this week, they had Hangman versus Moriarty, and
that was a really good match.
Hangman only needed one Deadeye to pin him, but the whole story of the match was that he couldn't hit it properly because Moriarty was like getting out of it and countering it, and that's a much better way to build a match to a finish than finish a spam. Because
Moriarty was working the arm, so he couldn't hit the buckshot.
Yeah,
that was a really good match actually. Like,
but yeah, as you say, like
look forward to talking about that.
As you said, Ollie, the whole point of this match was Okada was trying to find the time and the space to hit the Rainmaker on someone because it was a triple threat match and people kept coming in, and B, trying to like get it so they couldn't counter it. And it was only eventually, like you say, it was Jay, like you said, it was Takeshita's like pride. He wanted to pin. He could have got the pin on Mascara, but he wanted the pin on Okada. That gave Okada the opening to hit the Rainmaker on Mascara and get the win.
You know what's really like cool about this feud as well? It's kind of like a different take on Okada and Tanahashi, where Okada's in Tanahashi's role, where he's been like the top dog for the last like decade or however long it is now for Okada, and then Takeshita's come along from like being all over like different places, anywhere but where Okada is, and now he's here to take what's his.
Yep. And the way it's landed as well, like Takeshita's won the G1 now that Okada's not in New Japan anymore. Like he's literally gone to his territory and won his tournament. Yeah,
like Takeshita's doing things that Okada was doing. Like he's the beauty of this. Whereas like Okada, basically when he did the Tanahashi thing, he pretty much just debuted and beat Tanahashi and shocked everyone.
It was literally his second pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
He had his awful debut and then won the world title.
So what you're saying, Jay, that this is It Follows, and Takeshita is the thing that's haunting Okada.
Yeah, pretty much. So Takeshita's essentially just replicating Okada's like rise, like the greatest hits of Okada, so to speak. Like he's replicating all of Okada's previous accolades that he's done,
Well,
so he can say I've done that.
Okada won the C2 last year, so
Takeshita's fucking absolutely winning it this year.
Not sure how much of a potential hot take this is. I prefer Okada's entrance music at the moment in time than his Rainmaker music.
It's grown on me. It's
a fucking banger of a tune. I really like it.
One, it's not bad. People who think it's bad are just idiots who don't like change.
Yeah.
And two, yeah, it's fine. It's actually really good. It's actually a really good piece of music.
And
it suits him as a heel.
Yeah.
It's proper, like when they do like the Fates of Black and it's the spotlight on him and that fucking the guitar and the drums kick in. It's like, oh yes, this is a proper like main event fucking hype music.
So when he changed it as well, it was after the last Kenny match. So
this is his new era.
Yeah, it's a nice way he's closed that chapter and he started a new one. And also, apparently, like the band that do the music are massive in Japan. So it's kind of like a bit of a coup that Okada's managed to get this. He got it because they're mates. Kind of like the way Cope gets Alter Bridge because he's mates with Alter Bridge. Okada got this because they're big Okada fans and he's mates with them, and he was like, "Can I have this song as my entrance music? It's pretty good." So yeah, that's nice. Right after that, let's go from the high that was that amazing triple threat match to the harrowing body horror that was Mox vs Darby Allin.
This was basically a Cronenberg movie, but in wrestling form.
It fucking was, right? So Darby attacks Mox during his entrance, dives on Mox off the balcony, and Mox barely...
Often drops him off the fucking ledge.
Yeah, like, Mox barely catches him. He like glancing blows Mox.
Literally, like, I think it's like 40 seconds, less than a minute into this, fucking coffin drop off the ledge. Like, the fuck, Darby?
And then Darby like jumps off the barricade onto Mox and starts biting his ear. And Mox is pouring blood out of his ear at this point. And basically, it's just Darby trying to rip Mox's ear off.
And this match was just, you thought that bit where he's stabbing the ear and the Forbidden Door was weird. Check this shit out.
Yeah. There was the bit where Darby was like, just...
The bit that I find fucking hilarious is the bit where they almost lost together. Or they almost both won.
Yeah.
When Darby launches himself, Tope Suicida into the Mox, both of them into the coffin, and it's only the fact that Mox's leg is hanging out of the coffin that they didn't both lose.
I think they've addressed that in a previous coffin match where that's happened though, and it said it's got to be you've got to keep one person in, like that's like the kind of loophole they use so it doesn't end in a draw.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but yeah, it was a very cool spot.
Because strictly speaking, you have to shut the lid.
Yeah.
Like someone has to close the lid of the coffin, don't they?
I can't remember if it was the Brody match or the Ethan Page match where they literally were both in the coffin at one point. But yeah, Darby at one point like gets a fork and just starts stabbing Mox all over his head while he's in a bulldog choke. Danielson on commentary, and this was fucking incredible. There's a bit where he's like, I'm trying to be objective, but fuck that, guys, let's go Darby. And then they built up to this where on Dynamite Brian whispered something in Darby's ear like, make me a promise. And they slowly...
I'm not going to get involved, but you've got to promise me this.
And Darby at one point stabs Mox in the eyes with the fork, which was horrifying. I nearly did a sick. And then like Darby basically goes over to Brian, and Brian just pulls this bag out and just kicks it over to Darby. And Darby pulls out a plastic bag. And it's like
if you're familiar with Brian Danielson's law, to make Brian Danielson pull out a plastic bag is drastic action.
Yeah. That's a level of revenge that he goes against fucking the environment. That, oh boy. But yeah, it was a callback to last year's All Out where Mox did that to Brian. Darby plastic bags Mox and then hits a code red. And then as he's like about to um, pull Mox into the coffin, Pac returns looking like Robson Green. And he's got clothes on and he's dry and he's got short hair and I hate it.
Dry Pack isn't real. He can't hurt
It's
me.
the worst Pac. I hate it so much. It makes me so sad.
Because he was on fucking Dynamite as well this Wednesday in a fucking baggy top and joggers, and it's like, when did you learn about clothes, Pac? What's going on? Like,
it's so weird because he was at the Liverpool Newcastle game the other week and he still had his long hair.
Yeah. Well,
I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say.
Didn't
and
he
he
have
was
a
still
hat
just
on?
in his trunks.
I mean, he might have just been in his full gear. We don't know.
Didn't he have a beanie on?
Oh, I can't remember.
I'm sure he had a woolly hat on.
Nothing looked weird about him. It all looked fine.
But he usually has it like in like a like in a top knot and under a woolly hat. Yeah, so no, he had short hair there.
Oh, did he? Oh, right, okay.
He had a woolly hat on, so you couldn't tell. But looking at that picture, that man definitely has short hair. So that's interesting. But yeah, he basically razor edge Pac out the ring onto the fucking coffin
on the outside.
Darby, yeah. Darby took that
onto the Death Rider coffin, by the way.
Yeah, no, it was on the Derby one, wasn't it?
Or was it? I know there was one of that, like the Mox's like little rose tattoo on it.
That was the one that Derby jumped in through, and then he got Death Ridered onto, and then that's the one that Mox closed.
I love how at the end of this match the coffin was so fucked they could barely shut the lid.
Yeah,
the amount of times that one of them went off the back of that onto like the top of that coffin was ridiculous.
Yeah,
like the Death Rider Mox did onto the coffin.
Oh, that was a crime.
Horrifying.
That was an actual crime.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and Mox wins, and the feud is far from over.
No, and then the Death Riders carry the coffin out.
Yeah, the
Death Riders tried to interfere early in the match, but then Mox sent them away, keeping it like 1-on-1, which was pretty cool.
They didn't do the Nigerian coffin dance for this.
It's his turn. He gets to do it.
Yeah, they didn't do the Nigerian coffin dance though, so I'm sad.
No.
They could have, but it was cool. Basically, this is all to set up later in the show where the Death Riders they put him in a body bag too, didn't they? When they put him in the coffin.
Yes.
Yeah, Pac tied him into the body bag and then threw the body bag into the coffin.
Which
I'm sure that won't be a thing later.
Which to set up to something that happened later in the show. We did get a cool little backstage bit after this match as well, where Mark Briscoe and the Conglomeration were kind of all like celebrating their victories. And then he calls out the Don Callis family's best three and says he's choosing a hologram. And then Kyle's on the phone. He's like, is he ready to come back? And then Kyle just says whatever, and they all do the little orange thumbs up.
Yeah, they're like, what did he say? He said whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I got so excited by that, and then when it happened on Dynamite this week, it was even better.
So fun. Like the fact that off the back of this show, we've had the return of Eddie Kingston, Pac, Orange Cassidy.
Potentially the Acclaimed.
Potentially the Acclaimed getting back together, because early in the night there was a little spot with Jerry Lynn telling them, if you don't do this tag match, I'm going to suspend you.
There was someone else on the fucking pre-show as well. I can't remember.
But like this feels like such. It's like I think I said in like the chat, like this feels very much like it's 2002, 2003 all over again. Like we're back in it. We're back in the fucking prime. Like,
yeah. It definitely feels like that. The quote that they always throw around is "restore the feeling." It feels like that's what they're doing.
The feeling's been back for all of 2025. This is just the fucking icing on the cake.
Which is mad when you think about we're in an era at the moment with no Ospreay, no Swerve, no very, very little Kenny.
Well, I was told by Bully Ray that the company was going to struggle because they don't have the top guys for this pay-per-view.
But
here we are.
Your problem is there. You listen to Bully Ray.
Oh, that's true. And also, all they do there is just make more stars.
True.
Case in point, this next match. where we had the women's world title, Tony versus Jamie versus Tekla versus Chris Statlander, and this was fucking great.
This was a proper little sprint of a match, like real
Yeah,
good between all four of them.
this was excellent. And just to um, just a sort of foreshadow, Chris Statler coming out with new music and a new video.
I literally,
I'm sure
I
that's not important.
literally the second they started doing the tease with the Death Riders, I was thinking, I think Stat's gonna take this here. Like the fact that she's been winning with the seatbelt, it was just like, hmm.
I'm sure it's not going to come back to haunt her. But yeah, fantastic match.
Yeah.
It's just anyone could have walked out with this, and I would have been absolutely fine with it. Like anyone could have won. Tony Storm's entrance was a thing of absolute beauty.
I
It was like
still haven't seen the entrances because I went to the toilet um, just before this match started. I ran the toilet, and then by the time I got back, um, the match was like just starting. So you'll have to let me know what happened with that.
yeah, it was just leaning. It was again into that like sort of film noir sort of thing she was
Okay.
doing. Like it was again all the signs have been there. I mean, like the whole build up of this match is like Tony said she was like looking for her death and like she was like wanting someone to take her out basically. She was like looking for someone who was good enough to do it. So she'd enlisted like three of the best in AEW to like sort of create this sort of murderers row, this like rogues gallery that could get the job done.
I think a
Yeah.
match like this as well is like a really good way because like my justification when we were doing the predictions was Tony's already had like a big singles loss, like to drop that title. She doesn't need to
She's had the
have
long
that now.
reign. She doesn't need another one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this can literally be like almost like a soft reset of the women's division where you put the belt on someone new. Doesn't necessarily have to be Tony eating the pin, but which can then lead to a Tony feud. But then also, at very least, you've you've made someone if they win by pinning Tony, and if they don't, then Tony's got a ready-made feud for coming out of this match. Um, and I think based on what was kind of like said in the press conference and what's said on Dynamite, that we're probably just going to get a rematch of Tony and Stat sooner rather than later. Um, but yeah, it was just great. Like Jamie and Tekla did like absolute bits to keep their feud going. That
And I loved
spear,
as well that the reason that Stat got in the position she was because Thekla and Hater took each other out.
yeah, I was gonna
Like,
say that spear off the apron was fucking horrible.
like they're so engrossed in their feud that they eliminated each other from this match, which set up Stat to do what she did to Tony.
hmm
And they Stat wins by pinning Tony, which is awesome.
With a seatbelt, and Tony looked. It was a really
Sold
nice,
it so well.
yeah, where it's like okay, because the other thing as well, which has been really like refreshing with the way they kind of did this, was Tony's been winning quite a lot of matches, like building up to this with like a small package.
She calls it the
Sorry,
big package.
he calls it a big package. Um,
Because
but
of course she does. Because Jay, I don't know if you're aware of this, but
because
Tony's gimmick is quite sexualized.
I literally described Tony Storm as a walking sexual innuendo the other day.
I mean,
Um,
she literally on Dynamite before the show, she literally said to the three women, "Trim your bushes because on Saturday we're going all out."
yeah, she sure did.
So so yeah,
Yeah. So it was nice that because she's been winning a lot of matches with that the way she finally loses the title is with another variation of a roll up.
hmm. But
Um,
again, it's like Tony's so good, man. Like because like the reason she learned the small package or the big package is because when she lost the title to um
Mariah.
Mariah, I've forgotten her name. All I had was a stupid new name stuck in my head. Um, when she lost it to Mariah, she did that thing where she had like the trauma sent her back in time to being like original
Yeah.
Tony Storm, and then she like learned how to wrestle again, and like she started using that move as like a rookie, and like but then she brought that back into her character when she like transitioned back into time as Tony Storm, and it's so. I mean, I had a whole thing that like because like the whole time as Tony Storm gimmick started out of Tony losing the championship and like feeling like she'd passed her prime, and like it was like a basically like a sort of essay on like the disposable nature of women as they get older, and it's been so cool to see like her extend that into like this massive
Yeah.
massive title reign. And now what's going to happen? Are we, like you say, Jay, is there going to be a downward spiral? Is she going to refocus and go after one of the? Is her and Mina going to go after the tag belts, or is she going to go after the TBS title? Is there going to be another title on the way for her? Is she just going to like turn to like this ether sniffing like fallen star? You know, there's a very if you've seen the film. Ironically, the film Stars Don't Die in Liverpool. It's all about like an aging Hollywood actress and like what she becomes of her towards the end of her life and her career. And it was like RJ City's still writing this, and he's like this is like encyclopedia about the golden age of cinema. So he's got all the references and all like the little storylines, hasn't he? So it's going to be great to see where she goes.
Yeah. I'm intrigued because it definitely feels like they're building up to Stat versus Tony at some point. I don't know if they're immediately going into, because obviously on Dynamite this week they did Stat versus Mina, but then they built more on
They did fucking Stat versus Mox on this fucking Dynamite episode.
And then they built into the whole like Death Riders things, which makes me think maybe Stat's first defense is going to be Marina.
That crowd pop's so huge with like when she fucking nails Yuta and then double flips off Moxley. Good.
To be fair to Yuta, the fact that he sold that like Danielson did after Claudio uppercutted him before the Death Riders turned on him was magnificent. To
give Yuta his fucking flowers, there have been so many moments throughout this Death Rider storyline where you've seen he's taken so many little bits from Danielson. Like there's so many little moments throughout all of this. Oh god, yeah, fucking. There's so many little moments he's taken from Danielson. I want that, man. I want Danielson versus fucking Yuta. I want that to happen at some point.
Well, have you seen for next week, the 6th anniversary Dynamite, they've announced Darby and Chris versus Wheeler and Marina.
Yeah, they have.
That's gonna be good.
Tornado tag. So I don't know how that works with the whole men can't hit women. That's going to go out the window because that's going to kill Yuta.
I think.
Oh fuck yeah!
I mean, I think they seem to be sort of lightening on that a little bit with the way they kind of portrayed
those
stuff.
are like the perfect combinations of people when you think about it. Like, because Darby's quite a kind of like slender kind of guy. Like, he's not like a big brute of a guy. He's built very like in that kind of like slim cruiserweight kind of style.
It's not like Claudio's going to throw a woman through a wall or something.
No.
It's like,
so like I can see Marina working over Darby quite easily, and Stat is going to beat the piss out of you. So like honestly,
To be fair, AEW is effectively on HBO now. Did you see True Blood? Did you see the shit they did on that show?
Yeah. every week we get closer to Willow versus Brody, and every week that's all we want. That's the dream.
You know the meme, like men only want one thing, and it's disgusting.
It's Willow Nightingale versus Brody King. That's all I want.
Give Harley Cameron Brody. She asked for it.
She did. I'm intrigued where all this is going. As I say, I felt like this was a really nice soft reset for the women's division. Hayter and Tekla both came out of this looking really fucking strong. There was that really cool bit where Tekla was doing spider suplexes to everyone.
Yeah.
Spider superplexes, not just a suplex.
Yeah.
Spider superplexes.
Yeah.
Tekla's damn awesome.
She's great. I said to you guys during the match, it was just before Stat 1 actually, I was like, Tekla wins this, I wouldn't be mad.
I think she absolutely fucking deserves the title at some point in the line.
Yeah.
But like those moments as well, you could see there were like potential build back to a Tony versus Hayter match. Like Tony's the one that beat Hayter, right? Like
that train's never late.
So there's little moments where they could go back. Like the crowd popped huge when those two had their face off. So like you can easily run that back again.
All that we really need to happen out of this Stat feud is it end by Willow beating her for the title. Everything else is just for this first world title run's just a bonus for Stat because it's just like nice that she's got it because she fucking should have had it years ago. But yeah, and also it's the first world title run. Like she's gonna have it again, isn't she? Yeah. I think at this point it's just nice to have her in the lineage of like the women who've actually held their fucking belt.
And yeah, it's another day one AEW wrestler
Yeah.
getting their dues, like, because this has been a long time coming. I know she had the TBS title a while back, but like, and like as I say, I think they posted it a few years ago, that video when she came back from a second ACL tear, when like, and like there was that one that Saraya did a while back when like it's kind of played for comedy, but like when they're saying about like all the abuse women suffer, and then Chris Statlander says that yeah, I ruined both my knees for this shit basically. You know, and it's like, yeah, she's been through hell, and she's come back from two horrible injuries, and she was out for like 2 years. Remember that? Remember when she lost all that momentum and she lost all that time, and like we didn't know she was ever going to be the same, and she come back and she's absolutely knocked it out the park. And yeah, she really deserves it, and it's and you can see how much it meant to her when she won it as well. It was a lovely moment to see her like get the title and like it was great.
I wonder if Tony's called a bit of an audible on Stats Creative based on that reaction, because it felt to me like she was going for a heel turn.
And then
And
it was
now,
like, oh shit, we can't do that.
and then the reaction, and it's like, no, you can't do that.
I think they played it very nicely, where it realistically could have believably gone either way. Like this could have been Panalona. She's going to stay face, but it very much felt like it could easily go either way, and I think both outcome would have been fine.
Yeah.
But
I think it's really intriguing as well, like keeping a face, like you say, because like in wrestling, there's a long history of titles gradually corrupting people. Like that temptation to hang on to that power just gets a little bit stronger every week, doesn't it? And like the things you'll do to hold on to that title, like every now and every week, you'll go a little bit further. You'll break one of your codes. You'll break one of your boundaries. So to see, instead of just because a heel turn, it would have been fun, but it wouldn't have made a lot of sense because like she didn't owe that title to the Death Riders. They didn't help her win it in any way or respect or anything like that. So it's nice to see her actually go, that's her attitude. Like, no, you didn't do anything for this. Like, why do you want to hang out with Youth as a loser? Why do you want to hang out with him?
Yeah.
What I've really liked tonight, like this AEW's women division, like I know there's been a lot of talk like throughout the course of AEW's run that the women don't get the same kind of time or spotlight or treatment as like the men's division gets. And like there have very much been times where it's like, come on, like this, it hasn't been booked the best. But I think 2024 going into 2025, like the rise of Tony Storm and like the whole like Tony versus Maria, like there feels like there is real fucking change and growth and excitement in the division
it's the twin
right
pillars,
now.
isn't it? It's like you say, it's the ascension of Tony Storm and like the character, like her being like the first like real superstar women's character to come out of that to come out of that division, but also at the same time the debut and the arrival of Mercedes.
Yep. Like, and the fact that we now have like the TBS title, which is very much like the 1B title to the world titles 1A, and we're getting like the tag titles. I do hope now where you see it more on Collision, like 2 women's matches happening per show, but like across the 4 hours that AEW have, 1 hour of that should be the women's division.
Well,
so like give us 2 matches on Collision, give us 2 matches on
give us some promos,
give
us some backstage segments, give us a video package.
Yeah, if you want this tag team title to do stuff, they need the time to do it, right? So they're gonna need more than just 1 match a show. Like when they did the fucking 3-hour Dynamite, it was like, how has there only been 1 women's match an hour and 45 into this fucking show? Like there's bits like that where it's like you can do better. But I think
especially now you're at a point where, like, with respect to Chris Statlander, like Mercedes and Tony are 2 of the biggest stars in the company, not in the women's division, in the entire company.
Yeah.
But like what I think I liked about this Dynamite that's just gone, and I hope it keeps that momentum going, is that it's not just this is the women's division siloed over here. The women are playing a major part in the men's division to the point now where they're just kind of like together. Like Willow getting involved in FTR's business, fucking love that. Like her on the mic was great. Start getting involved in the Death Riders to the point where her flipping off Mox was a massive fucking pop. Like integrate your women's division storylines into the men's division storylines.
So interesting. And again, I'm not making excuses because obviously they need to do better, they should do better, and they can do better. There's been a long-standing talk and rumors that for a long time the sort of the reduction of the women's time has been a network thing, because if you look at like a 30-minute pay-per-view match with Mercedes on like the pay-per-views and stuff like that, and it's felt like something's changed. Like you say, I don't know what's changed, but something's changed. Like you say, it's always felt like, the women's, like you say, the women's division's in this little box over here, and like we'll go into it, we'll throw to it every hour or so for 15 minutes or whatever. But now, like you say, this Dynamite, it's a sea change. Like you say, it's it's not. There's no men's and women's separate divisions now. It's just here's a load of wrestlers, and we're gonna have I don't know if that's Hangman's calling the AEW title the men's world championship, which
I
is great.
love that. I love whenever any of the wrestlers call. I know Hangman does it, but I think there's been a
Kyle
couple of
did it
others
as well.
Kyle did it as well, calling it the
Danielson and
men's world
Excalibur have
title.
on commentary this week.
It puts it on that say. It makes it so this isn't just like a lesser division. This is they should be main eventing fucking pay-per-views. They should be headlining all-ins. Like this, it's like all in next year. If we are building a stat fucking storyline that ends with Willow, Stat versus Willow is a fucking all-in main event. That is 2 day fucking wanners that people
that have got years of storyline behind them. Years of build.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the women's equivalent of Hangman and Kenny. It's 2 friends who have turned on each other and had these massive fights, and now they're going to fight each other for the title.
Well, looking at this week's Dynamite as well, like literally, so the last half an hour was dedicated to the women's division. Like, it was the announcement of the women's tag titles, and then Stat and Mina had like a 15-20 minute match. And then throughout the show, you had like backstage bit with Stat to big up the match. You had a backstage bit with Mina to big up the match. As Ollie said, you had Willow come out. It definitely felt like there was much more of an... Even though it was like...
You had Willow interacting with FTR earlier in the show and stuff like that.
Even though it was like just like those 3 women, it was a very like... It definitely felt like a kind of like a mission statement of we're putting more emphasis on this division going forward by here's what we're doing. Now here's an example of that. We're going to give these 2 women like time to just have a really good match. And yeah, I agree with you guys. Like, obviously, it's something that we've all wanted for a long time. Like them to put more emphasis on the women's division. They've got arguably the best women's division on the planet, and they use a lot of them sparingly. Hopefully, these tag titles is going to change that. Tony loves tournaments, so I imagine we're probably
that tournament's.
I imagine we're getting a tournament. And yeah, I'm excited for where it's going. I think they've got all the tools there for things to kind of start moving in the right direction for the women's division. And as I said, this felt like the soft reboot for it.
Like if they can bring in don't just like keep it like when they're doing this tournament. Like I would fucking love because I enjoy AEW tournaments, but I'd love to actually do like a proper 16 team tournament, not just like a typical like 8 bracket one. Like do a 16 person and invite tag teams from the independents, like anyone that is not fucking signed up to a contract that means they can't turn up. Go to CML and get people from there. Go to fucking Stardom, get people from there. Like bring in the best fucking tag teams you can find.
The reaction to AEW announcing women's tag titles on
such an amazing pop.
It was such a I meant it on social media, like on Twitter, was such a positive thing, not just for the women in the company who all seemed genuinely made up about it, but because AEW have this like open door policy that outside talent can come in and work for it. There was like teams like obviously Charlie Evans and Millie McKenzie, the Medusa Complex. Sadly, Millie's currently out at the moment, but they were like, we want that opportunity at some point. Those teams from all over the UK, those teams from Japan that were getting shouted out, those teams from all over the US Indies. There's so many, even like Athena and Billy Stark said it. So many like women from the Indies. Like it's such a positive thing that this door is opened, and they're not the first to do it, but they never proclaimed they would be. But the fact that it's been such a long time coming, and they do have that like open door policy of, oh yeah, we're going to bring talent from CMLL, we're going to bring talent from Stardom, we're going to bring talent from here. It's really, really exciting what they can do with these belts.
I mean, the irony is that it's a set of women's tag titles that are the reason that Mercedes is arguably in AEW in the first place.
Yeah.
And they've got so many people on their own roster that can get involved in this.
Yeah.
Like you look at, I love Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. Like those, like I love their little team together.
We've got a big person a big little wrestler tag team as the men's champions. Why not the women's as well?
You've got Anna Jane Tay Mello. You've got Sky Blue and Julia Hart, who's also having a match against Hater on Collision this weekend, which is going to be a fucking banger. Harley could team with either
Willow.
Stat or Willow
or Mercedes
Monet. Like obviously you've already mentioned Athena and Billy Starks. But then you've got like the Renegade Sisters.
Tony and Mina.
Tony and you could also help Marina Shafir plus get her another woman involved in the Death Riders. You know, you could reach out to Shayna Baszler if you wanted to. Like you could some of the women from
I don't think you
ROH,
could put
like
Shayna Baszler in the Death Riders. It'd be too much Warhammer. It would cause me like sight damage.
But like bring back Suri, you know what I mean? Like get her involved in this. Like
Get
Emmy and someone.
Emmy and Mesa Ruga.
Emmy and Lulu Pencil. Come on, let's do it properly.
I saw someone say
Team Choco Pro.
I saw someone say Dakota Kai and Tegan Knox as well, or whatever.
Team Kick.
Evie and Nixon Newell as they're called nowadays. They're both excellent workers and doing fuck all, so get those two in.
Taya Valkyrie doing Duana Perazo. There's another two.
Yeah.
The Vendetta.
Yeah, the Vendetta. That's trying to remember the name. I'm so excited and so pumped for this.
Yeah, same. Well, let's go from the women's tag division to the men's now.
Speaking of getting pumped, Jesus fucking Christ!
Did you boys order some ladders? Because there's some ladders coming your way.
I mean, again, you want to talk about potential match of the night? If you're in a certain if you're of a certain if you have a certain way of thinking, this could easily be match of the night. If you like just silly bollocks and like mad lads going everywhere, then yeah.
I think I need to revisit this purely because at the point that it was in the night, I was like very like ready. I was just ready for bed. I was just like, I'm fucking knackered.
But this was the early start, Jay. This wasn't even 3 a.m.
I know. But I was just like, from being like so like from, as we said, from pretty much the Mercedes match. I know even like MJF and Briscoe was just like worn out at this point, just like fucking hell.
Turns out though, when you put Kevin Knight, Mike Bailey in the Young Bucks a ladder match, mad shit goes on.
Yeah, this match was insane.
Jet Speed aren't well. They're not well people.
No. You talk about Shibata and Kyle and others wanting to destroy their own necks. Jet Speed and Mike Bailey, like Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey, do not like their own fucking knees apparently. Because my God, Mike Bailey missed fucking Hechicera on that ladder with his moonsault knee drop. Like he went full tilt into that ladder.
Yeah, so much shit on that. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
and then
he
Brody
still
King
managed to hit Hechicera with it because he trapped Hechicera's fingers in the fucking ladder.
But then goes on to take a fucking Gonzo bomb from Brody King through a pissing ladder as well.
Oh, it was so upsetting.
Christ, anything.
This was excellent. So, like you say, I mean, all the ingredients are here. You've got Bandito, the Young Bucks, Jet Speed just flipping everywhere. You've got Sarah Alexander and Brody King as the bases who are just like doing insane power shit like throughout the entire match. It was just a perfect like cocktail of chaos, wasn't it?
Yeah, Hechicera was doing some fucking mad shit in this match as well.
I'm so glad he's on a fucking double contract. Like,
we're gonna have not a fight. We're gonna have a serious talk about him when it comes to the end of the year. Put it that way.
It's gonna be hard not to give Hechicera Wrestler of the Year just because he's like this back end of the year.
There are so many people who fucking.
I'm still fighting for Kyle Fletcher.
I'm not gonna lie. Fucking Mystico's for me. He's had a fucking banger of a year.
Also had a very good year. And Bandito.
Takeshita. Fucking like, there's so fucking many people who've had insane matches this year.
But Bandito and Hechicera, they just had that match of the year contender, didn't they?
So good.
Which was insane.
Which is now free on YouTube.
Which here they are both in this match. And like it's again, it just hits that they managed to get the timing down on this match, and it must be so hard to do because like we saw not to throw shade. We saw what happens in the women's match on the pre-show when like the timing isn't. I wouldn't even say the timing was bad. It was just like a fraction off, and it felt awkward, and it felt a bit sort of stop-start. This match was so smooth all the way through. Like nothing felt like people were waiting around. Everything just. I mean, there was a bit where the Young Bucks just, without missing a beat, jumped off 2 turnbuckles through 2 tables.
I was gonna say, like, you've got the Young Bucks in this match. They probably put the majority of this match together.
Yeah. This has got the Young Bucks' DNA all over it, hasn't it? Like,
yeah. And then you've got guys like Speedball's no stranger to like matches like this.
This has got more of the Young Bucks DNA in them than their own children have.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it was so good. I liked the fact as well, though, there was stuff that like there was little like sort of sprinkles of what each guy brought. So like there was that bit where Alexander was jamming people onto ladders because why not?
Yeah.
And there was a Hechicero doing the fucking surfboard on the ladder onto Mike Bailey, and then Mike Bailey reversing it into the fucking shooting star double knees.
Hey guys, remember that bit when Bandito just had a ladder and then did a moonsault off the top turnbuckle to the outside?
Did you hear the story about that? Where he shouted to Brody, "Pass me a ladder," and Brody was like, "What are you gonna do with it?" And he went, "I don't know, but it's gonna be fucking awesome." And then just did a moonsault.
I really hope he at least told Hector what was about to happen.
I think Hechicero had a fucking idea seeing he was up there, and then saw the ladder and went, "Oh God, no."
Like, going back to the way, like, talking about how this match was built, what I love about this ladder match, and I think you can see, like, I think there's been a lot of ladder matches this year, it feels like, but this one very much felt like every single person got a moment of fucking shine, and there's at least 1 or 2 spots you can name each of the wrestlers, of each of the people involved in that match, when they did this and it was fucking awesome. They did this and it was fucking awesome. Like, it was. Everyone got their chance and their spotlight in this match, and I think that's what really felt impactful. Was nothing felt wasted. Nothing was just there for the sake of being there.
Yeah, 100%. Brody, though, are quickly becoming one of my favourite tag teams. Same with Jet Speed. Add Josh Alexander and Hechicero to that mix as well, because they're all very entertaining together. This was definitely in the argument for match of the night for sure, and it definitely probably had the moment of the night, maybe as far as comebacks go.
I mean, the bit afterwards, absolutely.
Remember back at Revolution, which wasn't a bad show, when the tag match was the Syndicate squashing the Outrunners, and everyone was like, "The AEW tag division's dead." And now
we're fucking back.
We are so fucking back.
You know how else we can restore that feeling? Just a little bit of a Tarzan boy, just for old time's sake.
I absolutely called it when I said they're gonna turn up today. I thought he might, like, there was a moment when the Young Bucks, like, it very much felt like I thought the Young Bucks were gonna win this match. There was that moment at the end where, like, I think it was like Matt was on the ladder, literally, like, felt like he was there for a while, almost grabbing them.
Well, we were talking about it, weren't we, on the predictions where...
Oh, sorry, before we get onto that, can I just say one particular spot as well? Speaking of, like, the Young Bucks on the ladder, that bit when Nick was on the ladder and someone tipped it and he just, like, jumped onto the top rope and then did a moonsault.
He loves doing that, doesn't he?
Because Nick Jackson's just a magician, apparently, and he can just do that.
I loved in the finish as well, the fact that Brody just tipped the ladder with the Young Bucks and then carried on with that momentum to suicide dive them.
Yeah.
Like a fucking train.
Then he had Bandito moonsault with a fucking ladder, like,
and then getting up and just
what the fuck? It's like, what? Like, Jesus Christ.
And it wasn't the finish, but there was a spot where Brody just picked up Bandito and put him, like, on top of the ladder.
Yeah. Have you seen on there the AEW...
like he was topping a Christmas tree with an angel? Just like, well, there you go.
Have you seen on the AEW YouTube channel they did one of those, like, tasting, like, local foods? And it's just Brodido having Canadian crisps and sweets. And
I'm gonna watch it. I've got to bed after we've done this.
It's very entertaining, and it's basically they just don't enjoy anything, and then Cope comes in and he's like, "What do you mean you don't like that?" And basically, if that's the basis of them having a feud, I'm okay with it. But yeah, after the match, Jack Perry comes out with a knife on his belt because
But why, Jay? I haven't seen BTE. Why is that happening?
don't worry about it. We said on the predictions, Jack Perry debuted the scapegoat character in AEW by helping the Young Bucks win a ladder match. So it would make sense for him to get involved when the Young Bucks have had a ladder match. So yeah, Jack Perry comes out.
To put in case people aren't aware, on BTE before the show, the Young Bucks got a knife in the mail, which was if you know anything about Jack Perry, he's been basically making knives. It's been all over his social media. He makes his own knives and shit. And again, he famously forged his TNT title as well. He's big into like forging shit. It's cool.
Dude's a blacksmith, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not that blacksmith who makes all the t-shirts. Different one. But yeah, and he sent the Young Bucks a knife with a note saying, "For the next time you want to stab me in the back."
So we haven't established why they're beefing. They had a bit of a thing at Wrestle Dynasty, which is the last time we saw Jack Perry.
I think it's because he felt like the Young Bucks treated him as, say, a scapegoat.
Yeah. But yeah, they go to BT trigger him.
And he does his shit-eating grin.
Jack does his big shit-eating grin, and then the lights go, and that video that shown the resurrection of Luchasaurus a couple of weeks ago.
So hang on. So did Jack Perry cure his pneumonia?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, he died, and then he brought him back to life because I can't remember. Someone, it might have been Trevor Dame actually. Someone put a tweet out saying more needs to be looked into Jack Perry's like side projects that he does in wrestling.
Yeah.
Like,
does he got a license for that bus?
Does he have a license for the bus? Does he have a medical?
Is he qualified
license?
to practice medicine? Like, is he just out here just like doing? He's just a Nepo baby doing the shit he wants, isn't he?
Yeah, literally. But yeah.
Also, I do appreciate that this is feels like wrestling's first flashback. I'm like, this is how we got here.
Yeah.
Because we saw this, obviously, the clip of this from when Luchasaurus returned.
It's
unfortunately
wild.
This probably would have worked a lot better if Nick Wayne hadn't broke his foot, necessitating Luchasaurus to come out early and be part of the Kip Sabian thing. If this was like his return, it would have been fucking incredible.
I got to imagine this was meant to be his return, but they pivoted in a way that feels really fun because it does. In a way, it'll help. It helped tie off Kill Switch's.
They built the mystery, didn't they, of like who brought him back, even though it was obviously Jack Perry.
Fucking Tumblr figured that out by seeing his hand.
I mean, Tumblr can deduce a lot of things. One single body part. Don't worry about.
Don't doubt Tumblr's fucking dark magic that they can do. But yeah, it was a very cool moment where he comes back, lights come on, and Kill Switch is there. I think the difference is I don't think he would have done the whole thing where he took the belt off had he not have come back earlier.
And that was a really cool
and that was a
visual as well.
Such a fun moment.
It was the fact that he pointed to the crowd and then he threw the belt in the crowd and everyone went mental and then they just started playing Baltimore. Again, was that inaudible? Because everyone started doing it and then the music come on very rushed, like shit, get it on, get it on.
And then the crowd went mad for it.
And the crowd went even more mad. Did you see what the Porticus put up where it was about it? Where it was because he went to show and he was like, as someone who's been watching AEW for a year, I had no idea what was going on, but I had the best time. I was like, yeah, that's what we like. Also, I love the new Jurassic Express shirt he brought out today, where it's like this. It looks like a horror movie poster. It just says a man and his monster. It's like, yeah, sold. They make them like edgy Jurassic Express, and I'm here for it.
I did say when I wanted them back, I wanted to see the heel version of them, but I'm happy for like just.
They could never do it though. Like
no.
Not initially. They can turn them heel down the line, but it's like it's a weird. It's like the Adam Cole thing.
Like,
when someone's out for it, when like someone's out for such a long time, especially like the Luchasaurus thing, like you can't bring them back as a heel because the fans just want to cheer them, and like you've got to let them do it, haven't you? You've got to get that out there, and you can't pass that up because that's so like something genuinely that over like a natural big pop like that is such a rare thing. Like people try and manufacture it so much, like, but when it actually happens, you've got to capture it and you've got to use that momentum. And
this is another instance of a wrestler coming back from what they thought was potentially a career-ending like it wasn't even an injury. Like the dude had pneumonia.
illness.
Like literally, like never thought he'd get. Like so. Yeah, no. I as much as I'd like to see heel edgy Jungle Express, I'm all for horror
Yeah.
good guy.
This was like when Roman Reigns beat leukemia, and they were like, "Well, you can't bring him back as a heel because people just want to cheer him because he beat leukemia."
I do quite like the idea though of like scapegoat and kill switch as like evil Jurassic Express, but I do think they're gonna.
But you can still have them be faces, but acknowledge that they're different people.
I was gonna.
They've done bad things. Like, you know what I mean?
I was gonna say I feel like they're gonna be like anti-heroes as opposed to.
I think we'll see that more because what I can see is potentially Jungle Express take the titles off Brodido, and then if Cage and Cope are going to do a tag title run, it's against Jurassic Express, and that's where you might see more of that kind of heelish nature, or not even heelish nature necessarily, but like there is very much a story. There's a story that needs to be told there with Cage and Killswitch and Cage and Jack Perry.
Because Jack Perry in this sort of character he's in now, for me, he's got a lot of like Paul Dano's Riddler about him.
Yeah.
Like that sort of, he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, but he's actually just a bit of a shitlord. You know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah, he's who was it? I think it was Arn Anderson said that he had an idea for Brody Lee as a character where it was like inspired by the Unabomber, where it was like just a guy who like sort of like lives off the land, lives in like a shack, like they're doing vignettes like that, and him being just like this like really sort of like weird sort of heel. I feel like that's kind of like what Jack Perry's going for with like this new angle of like his character. But we'll see.
I did like the there was this little Easter egg in his video package they did on Dynamite last night, which is where he quoted.
That was really good.
One of the lines is a quote from Luchasaurus's time in Big Brother.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. There's a very famous. When Luchasaurus is in in Big Brother, he's like giving he's giving this presentation, giving this speech, and they use this line, some of his lines from that in the promo.
Outstanding. I love that.
Amazing. You also quoted the Crow, apparently.
Yeah, I did. I need to go back and rewatch it because it was really fucking good video package though.
I welcome our new edgy dinosaur overlords.
Yeah, I do too. I like the fact that his gimmick changes kind of like just Chris Pratt from Jurassic World. But I'm okay with it.
Anyway, speaking of edgy, sorry, I meant edgy.
Let's get to the main event.
Kyle Fletcher, Jesus, fuck me, Christ! Like, Kyle, man, you got to stop. Like, you got to kill someone.
This match was fucking outstanding,
dude. I'm just talking about his costume.
Yeah, I know, but I mean the match itself was
that gear is an offensive weapon.
It was. Yeah, where do we begin with this? This was just like neck murder the match.
Yeah, I mean, first, can we just talk about like not the entrances as such, but like, yeah, I mean, I have it on good authority. The youth have told me that Kyle is serving.
I don't know what that means.
The youth co-opting drag lingo.
But yeah,
like I thought he was gonna like I kind of was hoping that Kyle would do like, because obviously fucking Will's got his fucking Austin Creed sponsorship. If they gave like Kyle his own fucking video game sponsorship entrance or something daft.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle said he only cares for Pokemon, and CMLL have beat him to that. So he could always ask Ketchusero for a hookup.
He can go to CMLL and just do it there, which is fine.
Which Pokemon would Kyle be though? That's the real question.
I love how they asked him like before the show, like which Pokemon would all the Don Callis family be, and he said Don Callis would be Diglett.
Yeah, he said a card would be Gardevoir as well, which made me laugh.
And then Don Callis tweeted in all caps like, "Stupid Mark Diglett was never over until he was compared to Don Callis."
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what Pokemon Kyle would be.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I mean, if anyone,
back to this.
the irony of the story of this match and like the narrative they told, and throughout the match, being that Kyle's not ready, and obviously they're going to feed that into whenever Kyle is ready later down the line. But if you watch this match, Kyle's ready.
No, did you hear how angry Taz got when people were chanting "You're not ready" at Kyle? And obviously it was for storyline purposes.
Mm.
And Taz was genuinely pissed off. Like, of course he's ready. He's in the main event of a pay-per-view. He wouldn't be ready if he wasn't there.
But that's such a brilliant line, though, because it's like, yeah, like anyone who's in the AEW main event is fucking ready. And like, this is very much that story. Like, the story they told is that Kyle could have done it, but he listened to Don Callis. Like, he did, like, him doing the Don Callis cheaty heel, take the padding off the ropes
thing. That was the whole
build
to the match. Like, Hangman said to him, like, I mean, this is a compliment. You're not ready because not that like you're not good enough, just that you've progressed too quickly. Like, and you're not mentally mature enough to do this. Like, because Hangman's like, Hangman's like, I was in the same position as you. I got into the main event really quickly. I got a title shot really early on in AEW, and I wasn't ready, and I didn't think it at the time. I thought, and like physically, he was good enough, but he hadn't like matured enough. He hadn't like hadn't enough experience. He hadn't been on the journey. He hadn't done the work, and obviously Hangman's whole story then was that journey he then had to go on. And like, to be turning out to Carlman, I mean, this is a compliment. You're too good. That you've advanced yourself too quickly, that you're not like in the right place to win this title.
Yeah, and it was a lot of the story of the match was that Kyle didn't know how to handle, like, he didn't have a plan B for the match. Like, he literally threw everything he had in his arsenal at Hangman, and it wasn't enough, and he didn't know what to do once Hangman had like got through all that. And that's what like kind of was like his download.
Especially because like they couldn't have the Don Callis family interfere because the stipulation. So he had no emergency, he had no safety net, he had no ripcord to pull, he had no like, oh, let's get Lance Archer to come in and cause a distraction or anything like that.
But I liked the fact that they kind of went for spots that almost felt like, right, so like he goes to the brainbuster through the table, right? The thing that takes out the thing that's in storyline taking out fucking Kenny for the better part of these last few weeks, right? Like he goes for that in this match. Like it's such a smart, like he's such a good and smart wrestler. Like I think what I'm really enjoying as well, we're seeing a lot more from like Hangman than his opponents to kind of aping it is the callbacks to their enemies. Like, you know, we saw fucking Hangman pull out the V trigger into the one-winged angel, like, which was incredible to see.
He hit big pressure as well.
Yeah, again, the little callbacks to nods to Swerve. Like, but it's the story they're telling. Like the thing about Hangman's whole character now is he's taken all of the pieces of the people that he's met along the way, and he's taken all these experiences that have made him the person who he is now, and like that's what makes him this complete wrestler, is all of the pain he's been through and all of the suffering, like the blood feud with Kenny, like the blood feud with Swerve. They've changed him as a person, but they've made him like able to be this champion.
Yeah, he's it's like he's taken like almost like a memento from every like bit of adversity he's took, and it's like a reminder of what he had to do to kind of like
he's taken the positives out of the darkness that he was in. Which, and I'm sorry, I need to go down this road because Faye's not here, so like I need to be the representative of the Hangman of the punished Hangman, sort of meme. But
yeah, there was interestingly though, Kyle Fletcher did a little bit of that as well, didn't he? Like there was the moonsault into the like. Hangman went for a moonsault and Kyle did the super kick, which is obviously an Adam Cole thing. And like Kyle would say himself that he thinks he's responsible for Adam Cole not being around anymore.
And I feel like he went for the Stonebreaker as well at one point, or like he did like a double.
He did go for a Stonebreaker, and he did hit the running hidden blade that Ospreay does.
Yeah.
So there was. Again, like a lot of like little things, but it was all as opposed to Hangman, where it's from people that he's beaten. That like
to Hangman, it's a tribute, it's a sign of respect, it's honoring his foes of the past. Kyle is rubbing it in their faces that I am better than you and can do this better than you.
Hangman, it felt like he's doing it because he knows it better than, whereas Kyle, it felt like he's doing it because it's something he's taken from them.
But wasn't, again, as a sort of like the sort of hubris, wasn't the Stormbreaker, didn't Hangman counter that into a Deadeye?
Yeah,
So it was like all it ended up doing was giving Hangman an out to hit one of his
Yeah.
moves. Because again, Kyle, again, like you say, AJ, Kyle, like the way they both the body, like Hangman's a master of in-ring storytelling, and he can do more with like an action or a look or a mood
Mhm.
than anybody else in the business. But Kyle did a really good job of showing his like impulsiveness, and like you say,
Yeah.
he was just all gas. He was like, right, I've got to use my athleticism, I've got to use my youth, I've got to use my sort of exuberance to win this, but like just by sheer force of will. And Hangman was like, no, I'm gonna like use my brain, and I'm gonna outthink you, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna use like your sort of inexperience to an extent, and your sort of rushing nature, and your sort of like all your sort of haste against you, which was great.
And
Yeah,
then,
well-
and then again, to go back to it, that then leads into the ending where like you have like Don Callis on commentary going, "This is what I told him. This is what we discussed. This is the playbook. This is the strategy." All when he's like taking off the pads off the corner and he's going for that brainbuster into the exposed turnbuckle, and like Don's like, "That's what that's what I told him to do. That's the strategy. He's going to do this, and that's what costs him." It's him going after Don Callis' strategy. Him listening to Don Callis is the
But it's
fall.
again because he's rigid. Like Hangman can adapt. He's using his experience to adapt.
Yeah.
Kyle doesn't have that. He can't call it in the ring. Like he's having to, like you say, run the playbook. Whereas Hangman can he can see the situation and then adapt around it.
And
yeah,
that's what happens because Kyle's going for the corner brainbuster, and Hangman reversed it into the Avalanche Deadeye, which was
fucking nasty.
horrifying.
Oh yeah.
I thought the Deadeye through the table was brutal. Like, and I know Hangman does that quite a bit now, but every time Hangman does it, I'm like, oh, please God, no.
Credit to Kyle as well, because he saw that like he'd been murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His selling's so good. Oh my god. Like he bounces and roll. He bounces up the mat like the best of them. Like my god, it's.
I mean, it looked like he took that right on his neck.
Like,
absolutely.
what's your secret? Like, no, I just took it on my neck. It was like,
the fucking right, JNL driver he took on his neck was fucking insane.
That was at an acute angle, should we say?
Yeah. Also, another shout out to Bryan Danielson memeing in this match, where him and Dom were both on their feet, like screaming, chatting with the other. Absolutely added to the match, made it. And Hangman, he hit a buckshot after this, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit the buckshot.
Just because why the fuck not?
He hit the buckshot, which just folded Kyle in half, basically.
I don't think he needed to hit a buckshot after that.
But no, Kyle took the inside out bump on it, and oh my god, it's one of the best bumps I've ever seen anybody take. It was beautiful.
He'll be world champion in like the next 18 months, sure.
Like I was thinking about this. Literally, we are coming up to a year from literally Wrestle Dream last year where Kyle had that match with Ospreay. Kyle had the betrayal of Ospreay. Like this time last year, he betrayed Ospreay. Now he's gone for the world champion and lost. As you say, in 18, even less than that, in less than a year, he could be world champion, and I'd be fucking in for it. Like,
I'd love it now if Kyle was just the little sort of grain in the back of Hangman's hand that never quite went away. Like, Kyle's like if the one thing that if this puts Kyle on like a dark version of Hangman's journey, you know what I mean?
Well, I think we've got almost like in a way because like literally Kyle comes out and challenged Hologram to the. Kyle challenged Hologram to the title match, being like, "You've been here for like how long now of this streak?" Like
he's undefeated. He's going after like high profile, like undefeated guys.
He's just lost the world title. He needs to get back on his horse. He's going to go after the hologram streak.
Find a guy who's never lost and beat him.
I wonder if El Clone ends up in the Don Callis family.
I mean,
well,
off the back of it.
You saw they had obviously on Dynamite with Orange Cassidy's return. This video graphic didn't work, and it was like I've seen so many people think, "Oh, what a botch!" And like, I think that's intentional because if you look at it
was slow effort from Orange. It was just like he pulled the fucking cord out.
But like, if you look at it, it was in red, which is what we know as El Clone's color, and like the bottom, like it was very much in that hologram, right? Like that, like hologram style. Like I'm very like if you look back at the coding, it's in fucking Spanish. Like,
yeah.
So like I can see a world where El Clone might be related to. He's either connected to the Don Callis family or he's just been involved because hologram's been going against them.
Again, as Don said on social media the other week, US birth rate declining, but the Don Callis family keeps growing.
Does.
Can I just say before we wrap it up, a beautiful little detail I loved at the end of this match is Hangman wins, obviously gets the title, and the last shot of the pay-per-view is Hangman on the ramp.
Yeah.
It's an exact copy of All Out 2024, except All Out 2024 we have Hangman about to walk back towards the cage. The woman screams, and he sort of freaks out, realizes he's become a monster, and he leaves. And it's the exact same shot, except this time he's got the title in his hand and he's basking in the adulation of the crowd. And it's like, it's such a beautiful like dichotomy and like showing the two different sides. And oh my god, I'm sure it was planned and it was incredibly well done.
And then
they say AEW doesn't do storytelling.
Yeah, and then
they always do. Hangman is like the best story in all of wrestling
story
ever.
Of wrestling, yeah. And he just like kind of like staggers into the back after, doesn't he? Like just a little look back, a nod and a smile, and then he staggers to the back like he's been through hell and he's just about made it out the other side. Very cool. Very cool.
Who do you think Hangman takes on next? Who do you think his WrestleMania is going to be? I
think Mark Briscoe's like kind of like
Briscoe could be a shout. Ricochet could be a shout. Because there's not really a heel ready to go. I mean, Takeshita's right there.
What I found interesting, or had a thought, is so Claudio's picked up a couple of wins recently. Pac's also just returned. He's involved in a Death Rider match, trios match next week.
Yeah.
It could be time to throw another Death Rider on him.
Yeah, could it either be Claudio or do they run back Pac? Because that was one of like, again, and you do a throwback to one of Hanger's first feuds was fucking Pac. Fucking Full Gear is named after fucking Hangman versus Pac.
Yeah, I like that idea, and the thought of Pac did cross my mind because it just makes sense. But also,
but if it's Full Gear, I want Full Gear to be Hangman versus Kenny again. Just bring that back. Just have Kenny come back and be like, you need to prove yourself against me.
I kind of think that
because you could run that match with like no build, like just have Kenny come back. Yeah, let's fucking go, and it's like, all right, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I kind of think that though, like Hangman needs to sort of distance himself from the Death Riders a little bit. Like my only issue is I don't want him to kind of like his whole reign to be he keeps getting pulled back to the Death Riders. I want him to.
I don't think he's going to get pulled fully back because like Mox is very much tangled up with Darby for like until Wrestle Dream.
But at the same time, Jay, I feel as though the Death Riders should be a factor in the main event because they're such a serious presence in AEW that they should be constantly threatening whoever's at the top.
Yeah, and they should have their own individual stories that don't involve Mox. Like I think that's what I very much liked about the Chris Stat thing was that it wasn't a direct tie to Mox. It was very much a Yuta and Marina. Death Riders.
It's a Yuta thing because it's a best friends thing, isn't it? It's a harking back to when they were in a different group.
But I also like the Stat again flipped off Mox because it then kind of like made it on a much a high level because the women's champion's flipping off the guy that's been the men's world champion for the better part of the last year. So I think
maybe out of them all because they've sort of teased that they're going to do the Ops versus Claudio, Yuta, and Garcia for the trios titles. I can see that maybe they do Hangman and Pac with that logic. Then
I'd be up for it. Like I really like that match. The two of them had.
Yeah, it's an easy kind of. It's an easy one to get to, isn't it? I guess is the best way to put it because like they've got so much history. They can literally just say, "Oh yeah, well these guys hate each other. They've got all this history."
I know this is. I wouldn't be mad if they decided like I'm not necessarily saying on a pay-per-view, but it probably would happen on a pay-per-view, but more like on a big Dynamite before Jericho leaves. They do Jericho Hanger again, just one last time.
Well, yeah, because that was the white whale for Hanger, wasn't it? That was the one that got away. It was like his one.
I don't think they've ever had a match since, have they? That one.
I don't think so. No,
that's the one of them.
So I personally, I know everyone's tired of Jericho, but personally, before Jericho leaves, I think I would like to see that match, like Hanger defend the title.
I wouldn't hate Hangman just murdering Jericho off television.
Well, have Hanger put Jericho out of the company like he did to Daniels.
Yeah, but like it's not. Don't do it on a pay-per-view. Do it on like a Grand Slam Dynamite.
do it on a random collision.
You could do it as with like a Winter is Coming type situation, or like a
Yeah.
whatever they decide to name a Wednesday night show before a pay-per-view, or like something like that. I'd be up for seeing it again.
Are we feeling? I mean, obviously, I know it's away from happening, but Jay White's going to be a factor at some point in Hangman's Reign.
Absolutely, has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, if he can be back for the Australia shows, that'd be brilliant.
I think Jay should dethrone Hangman, personally.
Oh,
They've got there is long history that they
long overdue the title run. He should have dethroned MJF. I'll die on that hill.
That match was fine.
No, it was a fucking overbooked load of nonsense, but he should have just dethroned him. But yeah, there's a lot. It's interesting. There's a lot of people who can obviously come into that. As I say, I think Briscoe's the logical one as far as like Hangman's promised him a title shot if he can beat MJF, and he's beating MJF.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, it gives us enough time as well for them to establish a heel to then go after Hangman for like full gear.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, what are we giving this one then, guys? I said at the start 8.5. I'm going to stick to that.
Yeah, I think that feels right. Like a good 8.5 for me.
I was very tempted to do a 7.5, but I don't think I can give a card with that ladder match, that triple threat, and that main event less than an 8.
Yeah,
like you had MGF versus Briscoe. That's easily kind of like 3.5, 4 stars to me.
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes Rio. That's another one that's around that same category. And then you just had the trio, like the triple threat, the ladder match, the main event, the women's, the 4-way. It's
Mercedes right through to the end is solid to great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I can't give a match with that opener more than an 8, but I can't give a match with I can't give a card with that opener more than 8, but I can't give a card with those matches less than 8. So 8 is where we're at.
Cool. Sounds good. Right. Well, before we go, be sure to check out my side hustles, Two Nations Under Ted and Bear Mode, a podcast about the bear, which Big Tasty is also on. What episode's out this week? Is it episode 6?
6, I think. Yeah. I mean, you might, if you catch on in a few weeks, you might just eat some sandwiches. Yeah, that'd be fun.
You might see us eating a sandwich in a couple of weeks. We are going to be eating sandwiches soon. Ollie, what have you got for us in the way of clam stuff coming up?
The next couple of clam stuff events are actually sold out. A big Clocktober.
So you can't come even if you wanted to.
No, but we are on the run to starting up the news and promotion for Liverpool Games Fair happening in February next year. Date will be announced very shortly, whereabouts it's going to be happening.
Venue is
we have a venue for it. So it's happening in February. We'll be back at the Black E. We'll have the actual date and ticket sale release going up soon.
Oh, that's unacceptable. It's too far from my house.
As well as announcements about the special gets we'll be bringing back. Some will bring back, some will be some new ones for the show.
Will there be another live clock tower? Can you confirm that?
I cannot confirm that at this moment in time. But
we'll play Clock Tower, and I'll probably have another existential crisis. Though
that Clock Tower is the most I've seen you have a mental breakdown.
I haven't played Clock Tower since. I am too emotionally scarred from that game.
Oh, it was an incredible bottle job by Martin to put the sub on you, which ruined the entire game for the good team.
I was literally as honest as I could have been in that game, and
then Martin was almost like, "I think Jay's evil," and I was like, "Oh." Here we go again.
And literally, I was like, I had support and information to prove I wasn't fucking evil, and yet, yeah. But
Blood on the Clock Tower. If you've never played before and you listen to this, Blood on the Clock Tower is an excellent game, and you should come and play it. And you should absolutely come and play it with an event that Ollie's part of, because if you've never played it before, they do an incredible job of welcoming new people. They do an incredible job of putting on new player-friendly games in a really welcoming, inclusive environment. And it's just really good fun, and you get to kill Jay. Who doesn't want to do that? So
we do online ones on Discord every now and again, and it's always fucking unhinged madness. So that's a nice gateway before you come into our fucking
So
Craziness.
if you want to get involved, Clams Group on Instagram is the best place to find all of the events
Yeah.
that we run and what we get up to, because our link tree and stuff on there. So that's Clams Group on Instagram, CLAMS Group. So yeah, hop onto Instagram, and then it's Liverpool Games Fair for the big event that's happening in February. We run Blood on the Clock Tower in-person games every month, more or less, at this point. We also, Mike, who's also another leader of Clams, runs games regularly at the Tempest on Tithbarn in Liverpool as well. He has so you can hop onto Meetup. If you go on to Meetup and just type Blood on the Clock Tower Meetup, you'll be able to hop into some of Mike's games at Tempest. Has regular new player events for people that are brand new to the game. We have online Clock Tower every week. There's also now a Clams chess group. If you're into chess, there's now a chess group that meets up. Literally having their first Clams chess event today, also at Tempest. There's a big 20-player social deduction event that's not Clock Tower, but it's like a horror, murder, mystery, Halloween thing that sold out very quickly. That Ben, another leader of Clams, organised. There's a Clams book group that's been put together. That there we get involved with Pride. Just if you're into board games, come join us. It's a well fun time.
It's an awesome community. I went and did some For the Queen, which is one of my favourite storytelling games that I played with Tasty a few times now. With some guys from Clams not that long ago, and that was an absolute hoot. Yeah, do check it out. It'll all be in Faye's link tree that she's made that I'll be putting in the description, along with everything else. And yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. I'm going to rest my voice because this has been a long one. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Hey.